Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast. Me host Olu. Okay, today I've got another bumper episode for your listening pleasure, and of course, coming to you hot off the press as Manchester United are 1-0 down to Leeds United, courtesy of a goal by Nigerian descent player Noah Okafor. So very good. I'm sure there are a few Man United fans that wanted to come on the live and be ups. So very, very good. I'm going to make sure today's show is very concise because I'm sure majority of people are watching the Man United and Leeds game. So I'm going to just go through the episode and then go through the comments and see if there's any committee members, and then we'll go and watch the game. Shout out to you, right foot and left back. Appreciate you, my bro. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys are enjoying the game. This will be a monumental result if Leeds can hold on, but it's still early days, just 6 minutes gone. Housekeeping quickly, I want to say a big thank you to everybody for all the support. Thank you for all the love and all the Zado Kiwana videos and for joining the weekend preview stream on Thursday. Much, much appreciated. Today is the last live stream I'm doing before I'm back in full-time employment tomorrow. So I'll see how things shake out on the Thursday episodes, but the Monday live streams will continue going forward. So thanks again for all the support. Shout out to you, Adeola. Do you mind telling me how Chelsea's match went, by the way? I've never seen ops like this in my life. Man United, Chelsea, everybody has turned to Arsenal. I hate Arsenal more than I love my club. My team is sixth and I'm about to miss out on Champions League, even though I have no money in the bank. And I'm in a serious financial predicament to Blueco. But I'm celebrating my team losing 3-0 at home because of Arsenal. What's happened to Chelsea? This is the team that used to win all the titles under Abramovich. And now you've been reduced to Tottenham Hotspur behavior, celebrating your rivals losing. Nah, Chelsea, we have to have a conversation, man. Like, what's happened to the great Chelsea FC? So-called winners of two Champions League titles, is it 2 Europa Leagues, 5 Premier Leagues, yes, 6 in your entire history. And now you've been reduced to this shit. Wow. Wonderful to see. Can you imagine? Adela says, I'm happy for my club. I would rather we get relegated than we see Arsenal fans. Wow. I love the hating energy. And thanks for coming on. Anyway, if we end up winning the Prem, keep that same energy, Adela, man. I love you. So you don't want to play Champions League next year. You just want to you're not concerned about the progress of your club. I said Blueco has killed the club. Don't finish me. Anyway, I've got a bumper episode for your listening pleasure, guys. A whole World Cup champion thrashed by my city. German Habib, good to see you, my brother. I love all your comments always on all the videos I put in, and I appreciate your love for the football. My fellow Gunner, Arsenal LFC, shout out to you, my brother. Don't worry, we'll take the smoke. But when it's our own turn, we'll do our own back. So it's all good. It's not yet over. Look, at the end of the day, like Gary Neville said yesterday, Arsenal, especially the players on Arteta, you told them to bring their lunch, bring their dinners. I was at the match. Guys, watching Arsenal, I'll get to Arsenal, but watching Gyökeres in person where you can watch the entire pitch the whole time, the sooner that guy leaves Arsenal, the better. 6'2" striker that cannot win any aerial deals, cannot trap a ball, cannot hold up play, cannot press. And they told me Osimhen's got an attitude. Look around Cherki for Man City. They said he had attitude problems. Look how he's deciding games. First player to get 10 assists in his debut season is Dimitri Payet. And I have to watch Gyökeres, Havertz, that bloody Maduka that cannot play football. Trossard, don't even get me started on that guy. Oh my God, Zubimendi on Saturday. Jesus Christ. The guy looks short. Ben White, the moment we send you to Everton, the better. Like, you have lost all your powers. We can tell that you don't watch football anymore. Like you always say, you don't watch football. We can see it, mate. Ben White, you've forgotten how to defend. Alex Scott was looking like Andrea Pirlo in the 2006 World Cup final. It was incredible. Krupi Jr., he looked like Henry reincarnated when Henry won the World Cup as a 20-year-old in 1998. And then instead of us to show up for a match with Krupi Jr. and Osimhen as our strikers, I have to watch bummy Gyökeres and Havertz that can't run. One of my biggest pet peeves in football is attackers that are slow. Arsenal had chance to break. They're passing the ball back. They're walking like they're winning 5-0. Mikel Arteta, fix up. Take time, my boy. Because there's too much on the line. We've spoken too much. And you're about to let us look like idiots. To the point that we even have idiots that their teams are doing terribly. We should be clowning all of them. and you're making them still feel better about trying to clown somebody that's finishing second when their clubs are finishing 6th or 7th or 5th, or God forbid, Tottenham 18th. Well done, oh, well done. That was the worst performance I've ever seen in my life with my eyes from a club I'm supporting. Like, it was honestly atrocious. And then you told us come and generate energy, and you give us 0.05 XG from open play. Arteta, shame, 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 shame. Gyökeres, shame, 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 shame. Oh, God, he's such a bad striker. If I'm Osimhen, I'll just be watching all these guys like, what the fuck is going on? And they told me I was too much, and I'm demanding too much salary. Anyway, we go again. At the end of the day, look, Arsenal will probably get battered next week. And look, I deserve all the smoke. But God help you if we win the match. That's all I'll say. And to be honest, that's why I channeled my inner R9. We need the spirit of R9, superstars that can take this Arsenal team from nothing to something. Because it's not fucking Gyökeres, I'll tell you that. That's going to take us to the promised land with that his fake 18-goal statistic that makes it look like he's had a good season. 65 of the Queen style's finest sterling to buy that bum. Oh my God, I couldn't believe my eyes. But anyway, like I said, let me keep the show concise today so we could also dine on Man United's tears since they think it's only them. They don't know me. Based on my age, I don't care what's happening with United. As long as you lose a match, it will feed me. The same way you watching Arsenal lose feeds you. It feeds me. So let's go. Anyway, great show ahead. We'll go through the stand-up performers for the week. We have a few of them. We'll do the Starboy of the week as usual. Obviously, with all the lamentations about the NFF, shout out to Emika, our editor. I've gone to collect some information to bring to everybody on how Nigeria failed to make the U-17 AFCON squad. So it's not just that we're complaining, we're also bringing information to you. Also, as Charles said last week, Nigeria failed to qualify for the African Schools Championship. So I want to quickly bring a few points to you guys for that. Then we'll quickly do the weekend player review and then the ones to watch this week. Of course, the Champions League returns next week. I mean, tomorrow and on Wednesday, and we'll know who the semi-finalists are going to be. By the way, Arsenal clowners, I hope you know we're still about to make us back-to-back semi-final of the Champions League and be the only English club in there. So get the jokes off. But look, the prizes are still very, very well in view for us. So let's see how it goes. And then, of course, community call-in. So let's see how that goes. Shout out to the listenership as well. Just to start, please like, share, subscribe if you see this video. Shout out to Tolu, man, for getting me this straight from Rio. Shout out to good friends as always. Love you, my brother. Let's see how it goes. Shout out to the comments. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Arsenal says it's not over now. Man City's still a very gettable team. I think so too, mate. Cherky is the new Hazard. Mate, anyway, let me not open a debate about how I used to feel about Hazard. He's the new Cherky, please. Let him be special on his own. The way people try and make it seem. Anyway, let me not get into the Hazard debate. Adela says, watch your back. Pep is coming. I mean, he is the GOAT, so we'll see how it goes. Arsenal LFC 1513. He says, I don't understand Arsenal at all. We are willing to take risks in our own box, but scared to do in the opposition box. My brother, it's a coaching problem. Arteta is out of ideas. And honestly, those players, it's like they've been programmed. It's like when you see people that have been brainwashed. It's like when you see the people who, like, no matter how bad their country is, they've decided they will support a government that's making their lives horrible. That's the same kind of brainwashing that's happened to Arsenal players. Like, it's like they just program controllers. Arteta says, go here, they go here. Even the game against Sporting Lisbon, thank God Martinelli broke from the Arteta programming and played that ball to Havertz. Because I know for a fact, Arteta probably told him, go to the left, byline, byline, byline. So we need our players here, Arsenal LFC, to break from the Arteta mode, I'm telling you. Because if not, it's going to be Wahala, as we see. We are not finishing second this season. I hope so. We must finish first. We must finish first. And then see how the jokes come. First, they say you're fourth, then they clown you for finishing eighth, but then all their teams have finished worse than eighth. Now it's a problem to finish second. It's kind of interesting, you know. So anyway, I channel the spirit of R9 Phenomenal, like German Abi put there. And I put it over Arsenal. Even if it's Gabriel, go and score me a header, man, because we can't put the R9 spirit in Gyökeres. It's not possible. Did you see the stats of Arsenal players trying to dribble against Bournemouth? How can you have attackers that can't dribble? What is the whole point of being an attacker? You can't beat your player one-on-one. It's like we need to ship all our wingers to Barcelona for Lamine Yamal to have a quick, 2-hour session with those bums. I remind them about what an attacker is supposed to do. Mikel Arteta should join them for that training session with Lamine Yamal. I think that's the best thing to do. In fact, fly in Michael Olise to join the training session as well and teach them how to actually move to the lines. I think we need that at this point because some of the shit we're seeing is so dire. So dire. Bill is calling me while I'm sorry, someone's calling me while I'm doing a live stream. Anyway, few more comments, then let's get back into it. Let me be concise to the United boys. Adeola, you're right. Zadok dropped an assist. We're gonna talk about that. Starboy. I've also sent an email to Ike, so I'm hoping they give me a press pass to go cover their game. And then hopefully I'm also trying to see if I can go to the Galatasaray and the Fenerbahce game, because I think that's going to be decisive for who's going to win the Turkish league title. So fingers crossed that works out for me. And just to give you guys a heads up on some of the things I'm trying to do. But we'll see how it shakes out. And always, thanks for the support on all of that. Arsenal FC 1513 said, Zado, Kiana is an absolute baller. We need him in Nigeria now. I agree, but one thing to also clarify, he's not going to come to Unity Cup. Do not buy any of the fake news you see. The Swedish league has just started. And that weekend of the Unity Cup, Zadokiana is going to have to play games for his club, who actually pays his salary. We all know that Nigeria, they're owing everybody bonuses. All they have to do is set up your insurance and pay your bonus, and they can't even do that. So with all due respect, Zadokiana is not coming to the Unity Cup. Forget about it. It's outside the international window. So clubs are not legally mandated to release their players. So we'll see Zadok maybe in the friendly games in June, potentially, if Eric Shell thinks he's ready. But for me, I think Zadok, we should focus more on the under-23 teams and the Olympics. You don't just fast-track people this quickly. Yes, we can see he's a superstar on our hands, but give him a few months. Let the season really germinate. But, of course, he started very well. But I just want to exercise caution on that situation. German Habib says, I hope Arsenal can win the UCL. No matter what, I always root for Premier League teams except Manchester United. As a citizen, that would be atrocious. I like that. For once, I've met, it's the opposite. Can you United fans, can you see your enemies on the other side? City fans would rather anybody wins except United. But United fans, they hate Arsenal so much, they would rather City win than Arsenal. Make it make sense, my people. You know? And we'll see. I mean, I like my chance against Atletico Madrid, but right now, we're not playing well against anybody. Exactly, Coin and Vogue. Thank you for this comment. When we start Havertz as an 8, we struggle to create. Literally, all the games we've lost recently, the 3 of the last 4 games, Havertz has started in midfield. Arteta, Havertz is not a midfielder. Play him as a striker, we know. And he keeps doing it. Oh my God, you're so right. It's like Arteta is like the king of sucking out, flare out talented players. Did you see how slow Ebere Eze was in that game? Odegaard, don't even get me started. Like, the decline is ridiculous. Saka, same thing here. At least Martinelli almost has 10 goals in the Champions League, so I can even forgive him. Trossard, that guy has to go to the MLS this summer by force, by fire. Right foot to left back said Unity squad will be... I mean, to be fair, I don't think so. The last time it was not full of MPFL players, to be fair. The good thing to clarify is because it's at the end of May, certain leagues would have finished their season for sure. But if a player is playing in like a Turkish Cup final, a FA Cup final in their country, or they have league games, they will not be released for the Unity Cup. Like, Osimhen's not going to be there. Don't even bother. But there will be certain players, depending on the league setup, maybe like the Bamdele Yusufs. There's still a lot of talented players in Europe that we could call because their leagues would have finished. But someone like Zadok, no, he will not be there. For example, someone like Franco Yeka, he would have finished qualifying Coventry for the Premier League. So he should be there. So we should still have a decent squad. But honestly, I'm more concerned about the 2 friendlies against Poland and Portugal rather than games against bloody Zimbabwe and potentially against Jamaica or India. So we'll see what happens and shakes out. Because Aduche's Flame has died right now. I mean, in the summer, he'll get a chance to regenerate his career. So let's see how that goes. But really sad to see what's happened so far. Shout out to you, Charles. I was just explaining to them. What did I say Charles said earlier? I've even forgotten already. Shout out to you, my brother. Says, I want Arsenal to win the EPL title as Chelsea fan because they've been through so much recently success syndrome. Wow, you might be the most unique Chelsea fan I've ever seen. This is sensible chat. Appreciate you, man. London, let's go. Shout out to you. No, right with the left back. You're funny, man. That guy should not come anywhere near. Shemi Ajayi hopefully will be done with his FA Cup thing. Chibike Waibu will probably be able to make it if Trabzonspor don't make the final. Emmanuel Fernandez will probably have won the Scottish League by then because it could be Rangers, Hearts, or Celtic, but we have quite a few players that should still be available. The Premier League would have officially finished the week before, So there's a world where even someone like Benjamin Frederick, if he's back from fitness, should be available. I think we should give rest to our top players like Bassi and Co. It's an opportunity to try new people. People like Felix Agu should be there. Isaac James and Alverca should be there. If you want to call up a Daniel Arego, okay, Alebiosu that was not called up for the last window, he should be there. Stake your claim. Let's see what you could do. Ola, I know season might be over, but he might have a Europa League final to play, so he won't be there. But if they're not in the Europa League final and he makes it, Ola, I know should get back because we haven't seen him play for Nigeria since October last year. So there's still a few players that we could call upon. I think Syria might have ended by then, so Okoye can come. And if Okonkwo is not playing playoffs, we should also see. But the honest truth is, speculating about who's going to be in the Unity Cup right now is all hearsay. We will have a better idea of the talent pool and who could be caught up in early May and middle of May when we see how all the clubs' seasons are about to shake out in all the top leagues. So we'll see how it goes. PMOye, I went to the game. Oh, I know. What can you imagine? I mean, the pain is even more painful in person, I have to say, because you could really watch all the stupid things our players do. Like, my God. Anyway, I've already lamented about how we need to get out of that squad. But number one for me, if Gyökeres has only one hater in the world, it means I'm the only person in the world alive. That guy, I can't believe Arteta used blonde eyes and blue eyes and blonde hair to pick Gyökeres when Victor Osimhen was chilling, going to Turkey. Hey, God, I'm so disgusted, I swear. Stan Khan said, did you see the photo of Bassi with Rio? Yeah, absolutely. Only thing I'll say Nigerians is they also both grew up in the same part of London. I remember, guys, I also said during AFCON that when Bassi played against Morocco, I spotted Rio Ngomoa in the comments praising Bassi for his performances. So safe to say in the Rio household, they definitely watch Super Eagles and they know what's going on. But also, he mentioned that he wants to win the World Cup. That's the thing he wants the most. I'm hoping he's ambitious enough that he sees it from Nigeria. But just to manage expectations, guys, when a player like this comes through and the whole of England is talking about him, they will do any and everything to keep him in their palm. Like, yes, there's a world where you become a Nwaneri and they forget about you quickly because England, they're so good at it, especially if you're not white. They'll find the next playboy. But Rio is the darling of the North. And if you know anything about England, even though London is the center of football in Europe, the North cabal is real. Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool, Everton, Leeds, they really, really care about their football up there. And I'm telling you, I hope Bassi may put in a word. But let me tell you, if the NFF do not reform and do not start doing things seriously, Rio Ngomoa is not going to play for Nigeria because we can't keep accepting mediocrity. Look at all the things I've been pumping out over the past 2 weeks. Have you seen anything shake? Yes, there's an election, but people that have failed us, they are still standing there twiddling their thumbs. They could not even organize a friendly match for the women. Do you know how many people have put out comments? Ademola Victor TV, shout out to him. All these people. NFF could not even give us the courtesy of putting a statement out. Even if you even say, oh, we tried our best, but unfortunately, due to logistics reasons, we're unable to set up friendlies for our women. But nobody even has the care or the TLC of mind to do that. So, guys, in fact, let's forget Super Eagles for now, man. Honestly, like, they just piss me off. Let's see what going on. Elia, shout out to you, my brother. How you doing? Olua Tobi, I like this comment. Sani Suleiman, Felix Agu, all these guys should come to Unity Cup. Even Sani Suleiman, I'm not sure because he's not played any minutes for Leipzig. He might be injured, but if Leipzig sign a talent like that, it's worth checking him out. Same for Uchenna Ogundu at Olberg. You know, he's 19 years old. He's a striker. He's done all right in his career. But for them to sign him at 19, even with the lack of prolific output, there probably is a gem in there. So let's see what happened. My brother, we got the wrong Victor. We got wrong Victor. I heard this rumor as well, but honestly, I see a lot of fake news on Twitter. So honestly, I think it was just fake news. It does not make sense that they will put 2 qualifying spots from Europe and 2 from Asia to play a tournament. That sounds like fake news. I checked the Athletic. I didn't see any article like that. So guys, I'm still maintaining if Iran withdraw, an Asian team will take over. Let us forget about the World Cup. I am begging you guys, go and tackle the NFF and their uselessness. Thank you very much. God bless. Mikel, he can't destroy it. Osimhen is too good. Paimoyo. Osimhen is too good. There's certain players like, especially Arteta that likes talking about pressing. Osimhen is the best pressing forward in football. And I know Osimhen, he has Agidi. There will be things Ateta will tell him, he'll be like, fuck off. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And that's how it should be. You're a footballer. Still play with your system and do what you need to do based on what you can see in front of you. And our players are clueless. Look at Maduka, how many times he tried to cut back, then cut back again. I was just watching this guy, like, we paid 52 million pounds for this. Anyway, let his friend not come and abuse me again that I said I don't like him. You think it's beef. Anyway, much love, much love, much love. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, you all know that our game's not over, you know? Exactly like Charles said, they grew up in Newham together, like I said. So let's see. But like I said, if we don't sort our stuff in welfare and advancement, like Charles said, we're wasting our time. John Jones even said Rio should stay far away from Nigeria. I would not support that, but I know what you mean by that sentiment, my brother. Let's see how it goes. Ojo Samuel, shout out to you, my brother. He says, I know this might annoy you, but have you heard the news from the Athletic talking about the emergency playoff of 2 European teams against 2 Asian teams? That's what I just said, my brother. I haven't seen the article myself on the Athletic. I subscribe to the Athletic. I didn't see it. I believe it's fake news on Twitter because a lot of people want to get engagement on Twitter just for the sake of getting revenue on their accounts. Too much fake news is out there. So I haven't seen it. That's why I said forget. So we'll see how it goes. Oluwatobi says, I really do think Oluwatobi Tayo. Oh, that's a great name. Toby Tayo. I haven't heard that before. I really do think Arsenal will make the UCL final, but will likely bottle the EPL. I could take that if we end up winning the UCL final. But I've done my permutations, and honestly, it comes down to next week, Sunday. If Man City win the game next week, and Arsenal and Man City win all their remaining games, we will finish level on points. And we all know who's going to end up with the better goal difference, because at the moment we're above them. But as long as they beat us, they'll go above us goal difference-wise because we haven't scored enough goals. I think at the moment we're only a 3-goal swing above them or 2. So obviously if they beat us, they go 1 up, we take 1 down. And then if they win their remaining games and we know that their attack is purring, they will likely win that game. And if Arsenal lose next week, let's be honest, nobody on God's green earth expect Arsenal to win their remaining games, especially if next you're playing Newcastle and Fulham, bogey sides, even though we beat Newcastle at the Emirates all the time. But Fulham, I remember Jao Palinia showing me Shege at least twice in my Arsenal in the past 3-4 years. So forget about it. But if Arsenal draw the match or win, well, I'll see you all next week, Monday's episode. I will talk the things. So just watch out for that space. So let's see. Adeola says, Olu, you don't want to see to win. Adeola, I like your troll energy. Stan said, if we can't get Rio, we'll have more of a chance to get into an area, like you said. I agree. Like I've said in the last few episodes. Oh my God, it's 2-0. Okafor! Igbo boy! What a finish! Oh my God! United! What a strike! Old Trafford! We dance on my enemies. You think it's only you that can dance? Sorry, let me see this go. Okafor! Let's go! What do you see? I even thought I was watching the replay. I was like, wait, he's just done them again. Oh, I love watching Man United when Gary Neville is on commentary. Said it's been coming. Oh, what a strike. That was like good 25 yards out. Look at Man United ping balling the ball like that. Oh my God. Oh my God, he took it straight on the volley. Okafor, well done. Well done. Finish. Euro, thanks for the deflection. This is the kind of player we could have also done with in the Super Eagles. Versatile, could play as a striker, play as a winger. When you are calling up Ejuke, can you imagine Ejuke versus Okafor, for example, what they can bring? And if you have a player like Okafor in your squad, those moments where Richel is running down Akor Adams to play 85 minutes when he's having a bad game, Okafor would have played. But anyway, United, good for you, good for you, good for you. That was a fantastic goal. Stankan, just to come back to what you said, I do believe we should be going all guns blazing to get in one area. But do we trust the NFF? These people cannot organize a friendly match for the women. Do you think they will be doing what they need to do? They've announced NSC Diaspora Committee. Where have we seen their KPIs, what they're going to do? So let's see how it goes, bro. But we'll keep monitoring. Oluwatobi Tayo says, Victor Osimhen, the beast of Lagos, Ijaya Olushosu. And people are saying, they're all mad with dirty Gyökeres. Lord, let's all laugh at United. Hey, I love this. Ojo Samuel me. With all the doubling campaign for over a week. Alan, he's not Austrian. He plays for Switzerland, actually. No, he plays for Switzerland. Go check the facts. Austria's Chikari Chukwemeka and David Alaba. He plays for the Swiss national team. I was just saying in her say, like, if you could figure things out. But yeah. Rio no supposed to even come in. I get reason why Nigerians baffled everywhere. They don't spell country finish. I hope say every Nigerian. Well, we cannot all Jackpa. We're the most populous black country in the world, so we have to figure out how to make our country work, no matter what. Even us that were born outside or Jackpa, I'm sure we'd all love to move back and live there if it was. Nobody wants to live in foreign land. Is Nigeria getting worse? That makes it seem like people you see Nigerians celebrating passports in other locations. Like, that's not normal. You'll never see a French person celebrating getting passport of someone else. But it is what it is. Anyway, Toby Tayo said we need players that are more elite teams. Exactly. Like I said last week, we have only Lukman in the Champions League quarterfinal at this stage, and that needs to change. So those are the kind of things we need to improve on. Exactly, Stankan, if we had competent leadership, but maybe we'll get there one day. Alan, you're welcome, brother. Even at Konji, exactly, at Switzerland, exactly. There's quite a few in the Swiss team, to be fair. There's the starting left back for AC Milan right now, Zachary Apekame. Go and check him out. He's eligible to play for Nigeria, but of course, he's going to play for Switzerland. And in my opinion, Nigeria should never be losing talents to Switzerland, Denmark, Sweden, all these kind of countries. If you're not the tier one, the big 7 countries in Europe, I cannot. If we had a competent federation, we should not be losing players to anybody that's not for those teams. Look at Morocco. They don't lose players to anybody anymore. In fact, there's other countries that will be fighting hard to try and lock down players as soon as possible so they don't go to Morocco now. So keep cheating. Anyway, I'm tired of lamenting on it every day. Let me make sure today's show is quick. So it is what it is. Exactly, Charles. But will Nigerians learn and do the right thing? We shall see. Anyway, let me get into it. Standout performance of the week. Number 1, Akor Adams. He finally scored his 8th La Liga goal of the season and his first in a bloody long time, as Sevilla managed to basically just benefit from the fact that Atletico Madrid have a Champions League semi-final on Tuesday tomorrow. And of course, that's where their focus is on. So Atletico Madrid played an entire second streak side. Ademola Lookman came on for the final 90 minutes of this match. And to be fair to Sevilla, they finally showed some signs of life in playing football. And we saw Akor Adams score a penalty in the first 10 minutes of the game. Good penalty. The goalkeeper got his hand to it, but because he played it to the roof of the net, the goalkeeper pushed it into the net, and Akor had his 8th La Liga goal of the season as Sevilla beat Atletico Madrid by 2-1. We then saw Atletico Madrid equalize before Goodell scored a great header just before halftime. And fair enough to Sevilla, for once they were able to see out a win, and they're now 16th, moving up from 17th. So that was a big, huge win for them in this game. Also, I want to call out Ryan Alebiosu, guys. I know some of us only watched him at AFCON for a little bit, but Alebiosu is one of the best attacking fullbacks in terms of potential that I could see. You know, when they say attacking fullback AF, I mean like João Cancelo, Dani Alves type level. Like those fullbacks, that is their job. Alexander-Arnold kind of vibes. Alebiosu, if you see how strong and powerful this boy is, and the amount of assists he gets playing as a right wing back, especially in Blackburn's formation. And yet again over the weekend, he got an assist after playing 90 minutes as Blackburn unfortunately drew 1-1 against Stoke City. But if you see his assist, it was fantastic reading of the game. He had already made an overlapping run, and he had the presence of mind to watch his teammates just pulling up onto the edge of the box and just slid him a fantastic pass for him to just curl the ball straight into the net. Like literally, you know those curlers that just go like that? I was like, wow. And it was 1-0. But unfortunately, they conceded to draw the game 1-1 away. They're now 4 points above the relegation zone with 4 games to go. So I expect them to survive. And Alebiosu, I hope you're talking to your agent. No more championship football. You're clearly better than that. So let's see what shakes out in the summer. Also, I want to call out a player that I don't talk about every week, but he had a good weekend. Alassane Yusuf, even though I'm the most anti-players moving to MLS, over the weekend, Alassane Yusuf scored the winning goal for Revolution in their 1-0 win over DC United on Saturday night. Very, very good finish. He was in the edge of the box. inside the box, by the way, and his teammate just laid off the ball to him, and he was able to pick his corner and put it straight into the bottom right corner of the goal to make it 1-0. And New England Revolution were able to hold on for the win. So good to see Alassane Yusuf making such telling contribution in his club. This is a player I had very high hopes for. Everybody remembers the Eguavon AFCON tournament where Alassane Yusuf had a fantastic first 3 games and he washed all of us. But this is why we always talk about agents. You cannot have such a high as a Super Egu player and win the Belgian title with Royal Antwerp. And you and your agents decide for whatever reason that you're going to move to America as a Belgian league title winner while you're supposedly 22 years old. Those are the kind of things that give you credence about, is he really 22? Why would you sabotage your career that early and go to MLS? You're not Lionel Messi that has all the credentials, you know? And ever since then, we've barely seen him in the national team, of course. So honestly, it's so annoying because he'll still be of age in 2030. But me personally, I don't think we should ever consider players in MLS. So Alassane Yusuf, do what Chidozie Awaziem did. I don't know if you're trying to get American papers, but bro, your career is very short. Leave that league and come back to Europe. A word is enough for the wise. Wasting time. They piss me off. But anyway, well done for your performances this week. Thank you very much. And then, of course, as we mentioned, Zadok Yohana was in action for AEK FC earlier today. He started the match and played a total of, I think, 75 minutes before he was taken off. No, 80 minutes, actually. Oh, my God. I thought they won the match, but their opponent scored in the last minute. Oh, that's annoying. Anyway, to find the stream of the AFCON is so hard, but I was able to find one eventually. This game came alive in the second half. I was doing my daily 5K run, but I came back to catch a few glimpses of the game. But I didn't see too much of Zadok, but I'm going to watch the highlights. But anyway, the good news is AEK took the lead in the 59th minute, courtesy of Bersant Cielina. And then IF Broma Pokana. Oh my God, what kind of Swedish name is this? Anyway, their opponents equalized in 3 minutes after to make it 1-1. And in the 78th minute of the game, we saw Johanna assist his teammate Victor Anderson to take AEK 2-1 up, and then they equalized in the final. Their opponents equalized in the last minute to make it 2-2. One thing to mention as well is, even though we don't watch the AFCON, AEK are actually the biggest club in Sweden. And I don't know, I only realized when I was applying for a press pass for one of their games in May. Their stadium is a 50,000-seater stadium. So Zadok Yohana is already learning how to play under intense pressure in that country, where everyone's disturbing you. I was also a rumor that there were 32 scouts at the game today, all trying to watch Johanna. So continue your work, Starboy. And most importantly for me, apart from him getting an assist, he now has 4 goals and 4 assists in 7 games this season. So 8 GA in 7 games. So that's over 1 per match. So just incredible contributions. I will continue to monitor how Zadok performs. As everybody's mentioned, this is someone that I know I could take care of him, but would the Super Eagles do the right thing by him and really treat his development the right way? This is why we should have an Olympic squad, just like all the European teams have under 21 squads. That way, this is the kind of player you should be funneling straight into that team, the Ogundus of the world, all of them. But anyway, next up, they play Kalmar at home, so I'm sure they'll get back to anyways. But now they've started the league. They've got 1 win and 1 draw in 2 games. I will try to go to the game on the 10th of May when they play a Stockholm derby against Djurgården. I'm still waiting for a response from AEK's press office. But if they give me the opportunity, I've asked if I could interview Zadok and if I could also cover the match as a fan. So let's see what they say, and hopefully I'll be able to make it to Sweden to cover that game. So we'll see how that goes. Also, final 2 standout performers for me. Guys, Moses Simon is not done yet. Moses Simon has told everybody that, wait, do not count me out yet. I'm still here and I'm still alive and I'm still a bowler. Ever since he scored those 2 goals in those friendlies, I watched Moses Simon play his best match for Paris FC over the weekend, I have to say. They put Monaco to the sword and beat them by 4 goals to 1. If you see Moses Simon's pace and his ability on the counter-attack in this game, you'll be wondering, Mr. Simon, how far now? If you see the fantastic cross he slid across the box for Jonathan Ikone, who used to play for Lille with Osimhen back in the day, to literally just pass the ball into the net, I was like, wait, Moses Simon, you can play a good cross or a good ground pass or a good cross. What's going on here? He was electric. If you watch the way they played, they were 3-0 up after 21 minutes. In fact, even the 3rd goal, if you see the counter-attack between Ikone and one of the other players and Moses Simon, They put Monaco through it. Like, honestly, he was so rapid and his decision making was fantastic. And then for the Nigerians also keeping an eye on some dual nationals, it will please you to know that the player who wrapped up the scoring when it was 3-1 to make it 4-1 for Paris FC was none other than Luka Kuleosho, who's of course eligible for Nigeria, Italy, United States, and I think another country. So he wrapped up the win. He's on loan from Burnley, so let's see what shakes out. But as I've said before, I still need to see him make a few more progressions in his career before we should be calling him to the Super Eagles. We're still a big brand and we should respect ourselves, even if the NFF do not treat us as such. So shout out to Moses Simon. I thought it was incredible. That was really good. And now they moved up the league table and they're now 12th. So for their first season back in League One, for them to be mid-table and have no threat of relegation, you have to say that's successful for them. So well done to Moses Simon and his teammates. And then finally, and most importantly, this is why I love everybody in this channel. Please hope that 7 of you, please like the video if you're on YouTube. Facebook Tribe, shout out to you all. Massive, massive shout out to you. Please like the video, share and subscribe, or follow the channel on Facebook if you're watching this on Facebook. I want to call out Maduka Okoye again. I know everybody that watches this podcast usually knows about Maduka Okoye's exploits, but the wider Nigerians, you go on Twitter and you see some kind of stupid takes and you're just like, wow. Well, I am pleased to remind you all that Maduka Okoye on Saturday kept a clean sheet at the San Siro as Udinese went to San Siro and beat AC Milan by 3-0. They beat the shit out of them. It was bad. Like, Udinese are on a 3-game unbeaten streak. Maduka Okoye has kept 3 straight clean sheets in a row in Serie A. And I urge you all to go and watch the highlights. Go and look at the save he made from Salamanca's in the second half. It looked like this ball was destined to go into the net. But Maduka Okoye had the presence of mind to stick out a strong right hand, and he hit his arm and hit the post before going out for a corner kick. Like, if you see the way his teammates were praising him and jumping on him, I was like, Madukes, I will always remind the world of your exploits. Yes, you want some consistency with the Super Eagles, but make no mistake about it. If it's based on club performances and how well a player is doing, we have not seen a goalkeeper that is an international of Nigeria or playing for Nigeria play this well in Europe or anywhere in the world of a club side since Vincent Eyama was at his pump for Lille. So I really think we need to give the context and respect the kind of workings we're seeing from Maduka Okoye. His team are now in the top 10. And of course, the 3 clean sheets have come against Genoa, Como, and Milan. By the way, Como are the second top goal scorers in Serie A. And I'm pretty sure AC Milan are in the top 5. So it's not as if he's been keeping clean sheets against profligate teams like Verona and Pizza and Lecce and Fiorentina. This is against big boys. So Maduka Okoye, I want to salute you. I will always bring your exploits on this channel because you deserve it. Fuck the haters who judge you from a mistake made 4.5 years ago. I think that is absolutely terrible. And your cachet is as high as ever. And just keep doing what you need to do. So Maduka Okoye had a fantastic, fantastic weekend. And long may it continue for his team. So I just wanted to call that out. Now, based on that performance, Starboy of the week this week is a tricky one. Bronze medal this week, I'm going to let it be shared by Alebiosu for his assist and the fantastic assist he put for Blackburn in their 1-1 draw against Stoke. It will also be shared by Zadok Yohana for his assist earlier today for Ike. And also, it will be shared by Alassane Yusuf for his goal in the MLS. Obviously, slightly weaker league. But when you score the winning goal for your club, New England Revolution, against DC United, you deserve a share of the spoils in the bronze medal category. Silver medal for this week is going to be shared by Akor Adams for scoring the early 1-0 as Sevilla got a very, very big result against Atletico Madrid. You must remember Atletico Madrid are one of the best teams in the world and are on course to go through to the Champions League semi-final where, by God's grace, they'll play Arsenal. That's a win-win, So we have to remember the context of the opposition. And also, Moses Simon will share the silver medal because, honestly, his performance was electric. Got an assist, also got the pre-assist for one of the goals by Kone, and was just very, very electric and played super well for Paris FC in their 4-1 romping of AS Monaco. Monaco, by the way, were in the Champions League, remember, and at one point they were on course to be second in the league. But now we have a situation where there's about 5 teams fighting for the last 2 spots. I mean, 5 teams fighting for the last 1 spot because PSG and Lens, of course, are already 1 and 2. So I want to give Moses Simon his credit for his performances over the past week. And then gold medal this week, I've literally just glazed him. So based on everything I've said, Maduka Okoye, you are the Starboy of the week for getting your 3rd clean sheet in a row, and most importantly, doing it at San Siro against the 3rd in the table AC Milan, putting off an absolute incredible save that could even be one of the contenders for save of the season, and for just being an all-around top goalkeeper that is showing how to deliver at the top level. And as I said, we have not seen a Nigerian goalkeeper reach these heights, even if it's mid-table Serie A, since Vincent Yama when he literally in the early 2010s, So shout out to you, Maduka Okoye, and well done for your exceptional performance and for keeping your 3rd clean sheets in a row. Mind you, against out of these 3 teams that kept clean sheets, 2 of them are in the top 5 of goals scored in Serie A. So incredible achievement. And also for the people that say we only glaze attackers, I hope you can see that we're also watching our defenders and also our goalkeepers. So shout out to you, Maduka Okoye, for being the Starboy of the week. Amazing, amazing work. Okay, I want to get through to some Nigeria stuff, but let's go through a few comments quickly just to make sure I am keeping this concise. Question. Akonji, David Oyedele. Charles, tell me more about David Oyedele. I'm not sure. CJ said nobody is a Nigerian. What do you mean by that? EJ says, true, I understand losing the player to England, Germany, and France. Once failed to get Alaba all those years ago. I knew something wasn't right, but we know it's our squad anyway. Thanks for that comment. Charles says, Olu, did you know that Genaro once called Michael Olise in 2021? Absolutely. I started the podcast in the beginning of 2021, so I remember reporting on that day, and I was so excited. But of course, we found out that same day that Michael Olise was not even notified that his name was going to be put on the standby list. So NFF failure in 2026, NFF failure in 2021, NFF failure in 2011. Basically, nothing has changed. By the way, Leeds United 2-0 up, halftime. United fans, I hope you're okay. Actually, them losing, does this bring them back into the Champions League fight? Because they were talking smack that their club could actually challenge for the title. United fans, you will never see a stronger strain of delusion. I'm telling you, those guys, the most delusional fans in the world. You're 15 points ahead of them. They tell you that if the coach was there earlier, would have competed for the title. Meanwhile, they're level on points with Aston Villa. I love this. And they're only 3 points behind Liverpool. I mean, above Liverpool. Fantastic. The problem is these Chelsea bums. Chelsea are 7 points behind Man United. 7 points behind Man United. Chelsea, you've lost 10 games in the Premier League. And you want to laugh at your neighbors. Nah, you people are actually stupid. I didn't know it was actually 10 losses. 10! Nah, these people, they must be sick in the head. I'm not even listening to any slander again from Chelsea fans. They're 1 point above Brentford and Everton. Nah, what? They're literally 3 points above Bournemouth, who are 11th. Nah, these people must be joking. They must be smoking dust. So they can even end the season at like 12th or 13th. If I ever listen to any Chelsea fan, in fact, Sheon, you're not allowed to come online today. Wow, I didn't realize that's how useless they were, talking smack. Fucking hell. At least Tottenham were literally on the verge of making the UCL that year that they were celebrating City winning. Ew, poverty club. Shocking. Damn. Anyway, comments. Good job, brother. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Osakwe. Appreciate you, brother. Oluwatobi Tyler said, you can see a world where Lookman makes yourself. Me, I hope it does not happen, but if it happens on my club's expense, I wish my Nigeria brother well. So it is what it is. Yeah, he was definitely on standby. EJ says, Zadok almost makes you forget how Amo destroyed his career. He was a bright young player too. Wait, someone almost destroyed Zadok's career, or do you mean somebody else? Give me a few more details, EJ. Grassroots football, everything is wrong in the bad hands. You're right. PM Pi Moyo, thank you so much. Says respect the hustle. Toby Tyler said Zadok, exceptionally gifted young player, will improve Super League, so it's really lack wingers right now. They're not consistent enough, so we need up and coming gifted players. You're right, but all I'm just saying is it doesn't need to be fast tracked right now. Like obviously the pipeline is there. We have AFCON qualified in September. I'd also remember Eric Shell's plan A. He doesn't play wingers. And that's also probably because of the lack of quality of wingers we have. But I also like direct Eric Shell ball. What I do agree is we must have a concise plan B where we can use wingers effectively, and you have to say Zadok definitely looks like he has minerals that we need to see. Exactly. I like what Charles said. Let him develop. Let our technical department look into his development and try to make it better. Thank you. Paimoyo, they hate him on Twitter. Who they hate? Exact. Thank you, Ilya, as well. Exactly. If you like play your best for a government that fails you. But Emmy, you're not playing for a government, you're playing for your country. I don't ever think, do you feel your patriotism is tied to the government? If that's the case, that's not a good way to look at things. I love Nigeria no matter what. That's my country. I would always back it. I wouldn't say, oh, because ABC are rubbishing the country, I will not support my country. It don't work like that. I love Nigeria. I love Super Eagles with my life. Your passion is more than that. In fact, I try to tell Nigerians in Nigeria, Nigerians abroad love Nigeria more than you think, oh, because that is what attaches them back home. Whether it's through football, through music, through culture, through food, through weddings, whatever it is. I don't think you understand just how deep people feel for Nigeria. Yes, it probably helps when you're isolated from the bad things that happen in Nigeria. You know, you get your salary on time. There's no policeman to harass you. The other day, I was driving my car. Even today, the police drive beside me. I was even so calm. I even wound down my window safe. You know, you can't do that in Nigeria. Let's be honest. So I understand that we're more privileged because we're not exposed to the rubbish of Niger. But I really need you guys to know how passionate people abroad feel about Nigeria. And I hope you feel that and understand it. Yeah, Maduka, Michelle said my crush. Madukes. Charles said, I heard Olise talking about how angry he feels when he sees Maglise wearing the French jersey. Yeah, but the problem with Olise is I watched his podcast where he was talking about reform. He couldn't even call out the NFF by name. So when he's ready to be serious and actually put his money where his mouth is, I'll listen to him. Because nobody should have more authority to speak on the NFF than Olise. Super Eagles captain, like his CV is ridiculous. He was even a coach for Super Eagles for how brief it was, and he has the reputation and respect of everybody worldwide for what he did for us. He scored the winning goal the last time we beat a tier 1 nation at the World Cup. You know, so don't be fence sitting. He's even the one that spoke to Amaju Pinnick in January, and he was blowing all those lies about how we'll have fantastic stadiums next year. And Olise is there kicking with him. Someone is ruining our lives. Maybe Olise too, because him too, I think he has a Belgian passport. He's not as worried, but when he's ready to really tackle them, then I'll listen to him. Jeremiah says, I love Lookman. Me too. We all love him. We can't wait for his game tomorrow. Same. He says, Man City is the best team in the league. Arsenal is just making it easy for City to win the league. We shall see how it goes. Emmy said, Terry Murphy. Where do we overlook Murphy? We're going to speak about Terry Murphy right now. I'm not sure what that comment is about, but nobody talks about Terry Murphy more than me on this channel. I like him a lot, and I always try and make him respected. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Says, bro, you're too good. Thanks for the kind words, my brother. Da Vinci, my brother. Said, greetings, Zolo. How many African goalkeepers are even playing for a mid-table team or any of the European top 5 leagues? You see why I like you, Da Vinci. Just come with the facts. Just drop it. This is a no-brainer. Maduka for #1 keeper. Leave fine boy alone. Adela, I'll start this one. I'll remind you of this. Come mail. Make sure we end up trophy-less. Because if Arsenal touch that Prem or Champions League, it's me and you. It's me and you. And as I've told these Chelsea fans, I just saw your position. I am actually serious. I'm not talking to any of you today. God bless you all. Shehu, I hope you heard me too. Go and focus on your team. Go and speak to Rosinio. Look at these bums, and they're telling me they want to talk about Arsenal. Very, very, very disrespectful people. It's like when you watch, it's like watching someone from, I don't know, what's the country that is not doing well? Someone from Mauritania trying to clown Nigeria. You're like, is everybody okay in the head? Like, what's going on here? Davichi says, Sunday Olise was even saying he's been getting a lot of messages from Nigeria people lamenting why he allowed his son, Michael, to play for France. Oh, Lord. Oh, because of the name, Abi. Lord, that's hilarious. I actually know someone who's close to Olise's family, like, and apparently he could have played for Niger. His dad is really Nigerian, oh. But NFF, well done. Useless buffoons. Jeremiah said, if Lookman reaches your final, it will be honestly. If Arsenal are not going to win the Champions League, I want Lookman to do it. I think that would be amazing, honestly. Brian said, MRI don't ruin things for us. We know if you use over age levels. Low. Charles says, Zaro could be the next African best. It makes me nostalgic of Victor Boniface unbeaten season. He was the next best thing because of his mentality and poor treatment. It knows that. Honestly, I had such high hopes for Boniface. He used to excite me so much. It was incredible. Like, honestly, but I hope he can still figure it out. But when you watch the video Omar did with the CEO of Bayer Leverkusen, Did you see the way he was talking about Boniface's fitness levels and he needed to get in shape? And the way he was talking, you could tell there was something else Boniface has done that irritated him. He was basically saying good riddance. And he was trying to explain it, and I was like, this guy's, he's tired of this Boniface guy. So we'll see what happens anyway, and we'll figure it out and take it from there. Da Vinci said, Olu, does Unity Cup affect our FIFA ranking? Imagine dropping points Sachin Tendulkar boys. Well, to clarify, the Unity Cup does affect our FIFA rankings, but the points addition is very minimal. So basically, FIFA do a multiplier system. Game friendly matches outside of the international window count for the least amount of points. So a win or a loss will probably add maybe +1 or -1 at best. So they're pretty much useless for FIFA rankings, but they will still count in a way. Our games against Poland and Portugal will count far better to our ranking, especially because we're playing a side above us in Portugal and a side close to us in ranking in Poland because they're just below us. Playing Zimbabwe and India, they're probably ranked over 100th in the world. You know, like a loss for Nigeria will be stupid. It may even drop us by like 5 points because we're not supposed to lose such opponents. So that's why I say it almost feels like a waste of time. But very minimal points. If we beat Zimbabwe and India, we may get an additional 2 points. But if we beat Portugal, we could get like +8 points, especially because of the multiplier effect of them being above us, for example. So that's how it works. Non-international window games have the lowest multiplier effect. Then international window friendlies. Then qualifiers for regional tournaments, so like AFCON qualifiers, Asian Cup qualifiers, Euros qualifiers, Nations League as well is on that level. Then after that is actual qualification for World Cups in terms of the multiplier effect. Then after that is your performance in regional tournaments like AFCON, which is why Nigeria was able to go from 38th in the world to 26th. We climbed 12 positions after AFCON because of how well we did at AFCON. So regional tournaments counts. And by far the biggest multiplier effect is the World Cup. Each win is almost worth 25 points or 20 points. So that's why I've told Nigerians, prepare for a serious crash out. We're about to drop significantly. In fact, if I was to predict, like I said, we're going to drop probably to 35th position, 36th, somewhere around those lines. I think because of our points total, we will not drop below 40. But we're definitely going to end up in the 30s based on FIFA rankings. So I hope that clarifies things for you. And just to add to that, Da Vinci, that's a big reason why we must not invite NPFL players. Those bums, they will actually lose to India. So please, still go and call up. I have a whole pool of players. I can't give out all my secrets. But there's enough talented players in Europe in every position that Nigeria could play for players to be tested out at Unity Cup. So let's see what happens, and we'll take it from there. Thanks for that comment. Exactly, Brian Tawi. I love this comment. I don't like the Nigerian government, but I love Nigeria. It's not the same thing. We must always love our country. That's why we're here. And I decided to make a niche podcast about Nigeria Football Weekly. I could have decided to make it Arsenal and be join every day, But love of country is a big, 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 big thing. Identity matters. We're all social beings. We're put on earth. Go and ask somebody that is stateless when they do IOC refugee status, and you know the importance of identity and knowing where you're from. Do you know how much some African Americans will pay to know their ancestry? Do you know what it does for your mind, knowing where you're from? That's why I don't really like English names. I like ethnic names. Chinasa, Olu. I like hearing ethnic African names. Let me know where you're from. Thanks for that comment anyway. Let me continue with the show before I overtalk. Charles says, I heard Eguavo's contract has expired. Charles, I'm still waiting for this, my email. Send everything to me, my bro. Does Olise know that the incompetent NFF has crippled our age group and youth teams? Don't mind him. He knows these things, but he doesn't want to mention it, so we'll see. Amy Offiong, I love this statement. Gusau leave, Eguavon leave, the whole of management leave. Pack your bags. We need passionate people. I will not add the rest because I'm not sure Mikel will necessarily change things. We just need competent people. Even if the NSC Diaspora Committee, if they say that Carly Keme is there and Sheila Jana, go and speak to them. These are people with actual degrees in football or diplomas and have gone to do the work. So let's see who could actually help. But something must change. I love this upcoming protest. Thanks for telling me that, Charles. And please keep me posted. They must know we're going to reach out to everybody. I'm telling you. We must. Brian Tawia said MPFL Goodrich to beat in there. I'm not sure. Because the thing that you'll be surprised about is cohesion. Indian team will come there, and the whole stadium will be full of Indians because there's a lot of them in UK. and it's not every day they get to watch their country play football. I cannot say with my chest that I'm sure MPFL will beat India. You are just making assumptions because you think India are useless at football. But I know the kind of things Nigeria have done. No. MPFL players that lost 4-0 to Costa Rica. I saw it to my eyes. Or Mexico. Anything is possible, oh, my bro. I hope we follow up Emmanuel Michael. Right-footed left back. Emmanuel Michael. You see why I don't like too many English names? I can't even pick who the guy is. I can't remember. Give me an update. It's escaped my mind at the moment. Thank you. And Da Vinci says, bro, the season end before we see Benjamin Frederick play. This injury really worries me. I pray it's not the R9 type. I understand your concerns, bro. I actually saw an update recently where I think he said he's going to be back by the end of April. But it's something I'm eager to find out the information about because we need Frederick back as soon as possible. And I really hope nothing happens to him, you know. Last left back. You're right. I don't have him on my list, you know. Emmanuel Michael, 19-year-old. Is he playing well? I haven't been tracking him at the moment, but he's on my list after Isaac James. Isaac James, for example, needs to be called up because he's playing every match for Alverca in the Portuguese league mid-table. So those are the kind of players need to be called up. I'm not too sure about Emmanuel Michael, but thanks for the clarification on that one. Thanks for that, bro. Okay, like I said, I want to quickly touch on a few points for everybody to know. Let me run. Not every day, talk. On the 17th failure, I just want to give you guys an update. Super Falcons, the draw for the U-17 AFCON 2026 was done last week, as you all know, and Nigeria was not one of the teams there. It's a shame because Nigeria's under 17, you know, about a decade ago was winning the World Cup, and now we can't even qualify as one of the best 16 teams on the tournament. I hope you guys know. In the qualifiers, Nigeria was in WAFU B zone, where there are 7 other countries: Benin, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Niger, and Togo. Nigeria was placed in Group B of the WAFU B qualifiers with Burkina Faso and Benin, and we failed to win. Let me show you the table. Sorry, my technical issues are on. But anyway, we were placed in Group B of the WAFU B qualifiers in a group with Burkina Faso and Benin. We won our first game, beating Benin 4-1. Fair enough, you know. And all these games are played in Yamoussoukro, you know. Then we drew 0-0 against Burkina Faso. Mind you, these games were played in September last year. So we ended up qualifying for the semifinals alongside Burkina Faso. But unfortunately, we then had to play Ghana in the semifinal, and Ivory Coast played Burkina Faso. The worst part is they only took 2 teams from West Africa over to the qualifiers. So there's WAFU A, there's WAFU B, for example. So Nigeria lost to Ghana 2-0 in the semifinal, while Ivory Coast beat Burkina Faso. So, of course, Nigeria ended up beating Burkina Faso to 3rd place. But because we did not make it to the final, we did not get a spot in the tournament. Only the winners qualified, which were Ivory Coast and Ghana, you know. One thing to mention is, even though I like to tackle NFF, I have to give smoke for Patrice Motsepe. This regional zonal shit is bullshit in Africa. And if we had competent leaders that could call this nonsense out, what do you mean you had a group that had Ivory Coast, Ghana, Burkina Faso? Then there's WAFU A that would have had Senegal, Mali. Then you now tell me what the fuck is the East Africa zone? They will now bring Kenya and Tanzania and those useless teams from Southern Africa. So, in fact, for once, I don't want to have smoke for the NFF because now that I've figured out the way that bummy South African guy, Patrice Motsepe, has set up this shit, this is nonsense. There should be proper qualifiers like we have for the entire continent for AFCON qualifiers and World Cup qualifiers. And he better not implement this nonsense for regionals because we cannot have West Africa and North Africa fight for our lives, while East Africa and Southern Africa, by way of their uselessness over the years, are playing bummy teams and qualifying for tournaments. So, Gusau, even though we should still be beating Ghana, but I'll give you some respite for this nonsense. And also, actually, I take it back. Because since you're the head of the FA, why don't you go to the CAF Congress and bring things like this up? But Kelly, you don't care enough. So that's how this kind of bullshit can happen. Excuse my French. So it is what it is, man. But I just want you guys to know about how we failed for that one. Now, another thing to bring up is, like Charles mentioned last week, there was the African Championship that literally just concluded last week with Senegal beating Morocco in the final, as you remember, as we all saw. Now, Ghana defended their title in the girls section. Ghana, mind you, Ghana are going to under 17. This is Ghana that were even clowning for missing AFCON. They're going to the World Cup. Mind you, they just appointed Carlos Queiroz, which it doesn't change much, to be honest. Like, he can't work miracles, but at least he may give them a plan. I still think Ghana are lucky they're playing Panama. They may win one game, but don't expect much if you're Ghanaian, is the truth. But when you look at how their underage teams are still doing, you have to say they still have a better structure than us right now, clearly. You know, mind you, Senegal won the title in the boys section. Ghana defended their title in the girls section. Nigeria did not even qualify for the men's section at all. We played in Group B of the qualifiers against Ivory Coast and Benin, and we lost by a whooping 4-1 to the Ivory Coast. Mind you, go and look at Ivory Coast AFCON squad. Go and look at the ages of all the players in there. Bazumana Toure, Amad Diallo, Yan Diomandi. Just go and look at all of the Evan Gesson. Look at their ages. Indika, Diomande, the centre back that played that fantastic cross against Arsenal for Sporting last week. Guess the country he plays for. Yes, you guessed it right. So let's keep twiddling our thumbs here. We saw Ivory Coast host AFCON. Look at the stadiums. I know Nigerians now go to Ivory Coast on holiday, and they're so impressed by what they see. So it's not a surprise they're flogging us. And then we beat Benin Republic 1-0. So anyway, we even ended up with 3 points. Mind you, Benin beat Ivory Coast though. So all teams end up with 3 points. But Nigeria, by losing 4-1, had the worst goal difference. And that was it. Now, to make it worse for the girls, our girls who even qualified, they were drawn in a group. But guess what happened because of Azaman? Guess what happened because of Azaman? They did not show up. They did not participate. They qualified to play, but they did not participate. NFF. Then someone will tell me that the problem in Nigeria is feminists for you to care about women. All of you that are anti-feminist, shame on you. Look at the NFF. 18 participated, qualified. They did not participate. Our most successful national team in the entire continent, men and women, they could not organize friendlies for them. If you cannot see what happens in Nigeria, you just want to be a loudmouth that feels like oppressing women, fair play, but not on my platform. I will try and educate you as much as possible. So I just wanted to call out the failure of the NFF and the NSC and everything happening in Nigeria for you to see. There was a time you will never see Nigeria struggle to qualify for any of these type of tournaments. And now it is the norm. It is not good enough. I'm tired of ranting about these guys. You see, I didn't wear my glasses. I wore contact lenses today so you can see my eyes well. I'm tired of ranting about NFF. But guys, we must do something. Something must change. It must. You know. Anyway, like I said, we're channeling the spirit of R9. We want excellence in all parts. And if you people don't want the excellence, someone can even have big injury, come back and score 8 goals in the World Cup and win it. That's the kind of energy I need from Nigeria. Missing back-to-back World Cups is equivalent of a knee injury. So what can you bounce back and what can you deliver? Let's see what going on and take it from there. But I hope you guys like the information and it's good to know. I'll just do a quick check. There's 2 people on the live stream. Please and please, I just need a few likes. That's the best way you can support us, just for free. And it means the world. Thanks. You guys always write for me and I appreciate it. And it means the world. So thank you. We have 21 likes. I can live with that for now. If you've not liked the video, please like the video. Before I get to the weekend Premier League reviews, let me go through a few comments. Charles says, why is Ghana hiring an average coach like Carlos Queiroz? Well said. I just that. Well said, Charles. We'll see what they end up doing. Right foot to left back said he's mainly a backup, but getting more minutes recently. Thanks for that update. I'll try and check him out a few more. Brian Tawia says Zonal don't make things hard. Well. Motsepe na Mumu. Honestly, serious Mumu. I'm tired of that guy. Exactly, Charles. Queiroz not as good as he was, and football has evolved. Someone that was Manchester United as star manager in 2001. They're hiring him 25 years later. We might as well go and hire Alan Kirbishley now. Let's see all the old ideas of people. In fact, let's go back. Get Arrigo Saki in the building again. Nelzy, my bro, good to see you, brother. My United still losing, by the way. I'll try and wrap up in the next 20 minutes so we could all... I need to feast on United's downfall. Even though Chelsea have been so bummy. I can't believe you're 8 points behind these guys and they're losing. So if they won, they would have gone 11 points ahead of you. Sheo Nelzy, Adeola, if you were... Wow. Mr. Man, put some respect on South Africa. What did I say about South Africa? Did I say anything about South Africa today? Did I even mention South Africa today? What did I say? Remind me what I said. Sorry, it's not front and center in my mind. Shout out to you, man. I always like getting non-Nigerians on the show. Amazing. Emmy says, we don't even have an Olympic squad, right? Oh, trust me, Emmy, I know. That's exactly what we're talking about and why we must platform them and continue to mention all these things about underage groups. So I'm keeping an eye on Olympic qualifiers. I'm still waiting on the dossier from Charles as well. Anybody, if you ever have any information around underage groups, Olympics, anything that I've not mentioned, email me, olu@nigeriafootballweekly.com. olu@nigeriafootballweekly.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love what you said. That situation is beyond critical, honestly. Very critical. It's so bad. Da Vinci, I love the comments. Let me see where it is. In fact, I showed Da Vinci's comments before I ever read them. I bet Motsepe will push that qualifying regional agenda with the ladies' national teams. Don't be surprised if the Olympic qualifier gets tested with this, as they know Africans don't care about women. Bro, you're 100% spot on. In fact, you're going far. There was an AFCON qualifier a year or two ago that they tried to do it regionally as well. Or was it Olympics? I'm already sure this is being done, even for the senior teams in the women's side. But like I said, until Africans respect women like the rest, like, let me not say rest of the world, Europeans and North Americans, because it's not Asia that will say respect women more. Even though I'm not here to create a debate, I just know what I mean. Women have agency far more in Europe and North America. If you disagree, go argue with yourself. That's just the honest truth. Ken, you're asking questions, you know the answer to, my brother. Do they have standing on a 17 or 20 or 20 coaches? I think they announced an under 23 coach the other day, but I'm pretty sure we don't have coaches for all the other positions. What are they trying to send off? Lisandro Martinez, why are you tugging a man's hair? The way my United fans were talking about this Lisandro Martinez signed for Man United, they made it seem like it was some generational center back. And now I have Gabriela Saliba. And look at this bum. Yes, he can hold his World Cup title, but bro, this guy is so far off the elite. This shit is crazy. Send him off, send him off, send him off. Yeah, thank you. Hey, United, 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 United. Fucking stupid club. Can't be clowning people. They don't watch what's happening to them. Get out. Anyway, Ken, there, you know the questions. Emmy answered on the 17 years. I'm not sure about the rest. Thanks for that. Taiwo, hey, shout out to you, Taiwo. Always good to see you. Says, so the top 25 players season and Victor Osimhen isn't named. It's high time he makes that big summer move because Turkish League is just not it. Big up namesake. Shout out to you, my brother, as well. I agree. In fact, I'm hoping I'll be able to go to the Istanbul derby, as I said. I'm hoping to pull some strings to go and cover Galatasaray Fenerbahce. That game is critical because Galatasaray drew 1-1 yesterday to Kocaelispor. Of course, Victor Osimhen was on the bench. He was not on the bench. He was in the stadium because he's still injured. And it's so funny watching how bad Galatasaray are without Victor Osimhen. Like, it's really, really shocking stuff. So they need him back. And I think he may be back by the Fenerbahce game. So let's see what he can do. So I still want him to leave with the Turkish double. And then, honestly, in the summer, I hope something shakes out because we need them out of there ASAP, honestly. ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. Charles said regional stuff should go. Wafu need to get more spots than other regions. Exactly. You have 7 world champions under 17. Why is Gusau and Coach Okuraku so quiet? This is dumb. Charles, you know so much. Charles, please send me the email of everybody you know in NFF. I'm begging you for the second week in a row. Send me all of them, all their names, their position. Send it to me. I'm begging you. Ask Claude. Send it to me. I need to know all these names. That's how I'm going to tackle all of them one by one. Who's the head of women's? Who's the head of what? How do you understand that bloody organizational structure and how useless they all are? Send it to me, my bro. Everything. I want to know who the hell Coach Okuraku is and all of that because we need to tackle these guys. You're watching Motsepe doing nonsense, but because you want to make money and eat. And we know that Gusau's plan is he wants to end up in CAF. You now be allowing nonsense to happen. And it's just so sad. It seems like all over Africa, we're being led by the dumbest of our societies, both politically and in football or the things that matter to us. There's someone now complain about Morocco. Look at the way they went to go and do proper plan. Took it to cast all these things. Do we expect Nigeria to do such like that? It's all good anyway. Don't mind Martinez, very stupid boy. Our problem is not the coach. Our problem is system. You hire a decent coach, influence their list, and then you have not been together. Well said. I love that. Brian Tavia says also, we don't forget. No, 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 no. Don't worry. We're getting to that. It's just too many comments. I tried to find the balance between going through comments and doing my show. Nelzy, exactly. Let me send it to you. Exactly. Motsepe donated 10 million to CAF school. No wonder. What should we do with that? I'm sure this guy is South African. They'll just be bringing silly points. What does that have to do with the way he's running the organization? That he can't even stand behind the decision that they overturned the AFCON results. The man is a coward, man. And please don't come with that tribalistic bullshit that because someone's from your country, you cannot do anything wrong. Please. I love a lot of South African things and people. Shout out to your music. That my piano is fantastic. Even on Bokazi, I love him. Fantastic player. But please don't come here and be defending Motsepe's nonsense. That guy is clueless. Then he now made a decision. He couldn't even stand behind the decision. He was now saying, whatever CAS do, we will respect the decision. But he could not even stand behind the decision of his organization. That's very cowardly. And of course, you support all the regional nonsense. Where South Africa is the king of all those other useless countries. Nobody else in that region has ever won an AFCON. And the one AFCON South Africa won, Nigeria was banned while we're at our prime. So, of course, you like it like that. You'll be benefiting from all the bummy teams you are playing. Botswana and co. I got you today. I'm off. Thank you so much, Charles. I appreciate that. I appreciate you so much. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Anyway, let me get on with the show. When people say well done, please have mercy on me, guys. I've run 4 kilometers today. I've been standing for 6 hours. I start a new job tomorrow I need to prepare for. So it's not every day I'm going to have to get people on. It's always love. Remember, I do a show, but I love the community. So please remember to message with kindness and love, as always. I appreciate you all. But just know that this is a passion project while I'm juggling my whole life. So I appreciate it. Okay, weekend player reviews. I appreciate you, Charles. Let's get that information. Nelzy, honestly, to hell with that guy. Sheu, I want you to also, I may still get you over 2 minutes, but I need you to speak on your team and losing 3-0 first. And the fact that you are 7 points behind this Bummy Man United side. When at the start of the season, you guys told us you could challenge for the title. I remember when you drew 1-1 against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. You guys opened your mouths to say that you're title challengers in October. And now you're a whooping 22 points behind Arsenal. That means if we lost 7 games, if we lost every single game for the rest of the season, we'll still finish above you. So face your fronts. Honestly, I'm really annoyed at those people. In fact, I can't believe the shamelessness of them. I even saw those influencers, even the ones, both the UK ones and the Nigerian ones, celebrating their team losing to City. I was like, I don't ever want to hear you guys tell me you're European champions. That's bummy behavior. Tottenham have no title. That's why they act like that. You guys, no respect. So I don't respect you guys anymore. I couldn't believe any other club but Chelsea. I could understand the rest. Celebrating losing 3-0 while you're 22 points away from Arsenal and you're not going to make the Champions League. Have you seen your financial records? I will send you all the articles on the Athletic. If anyone needs a guest pass, I can give 5 guest passes from the Athletic. In fact, let me share one now while I'm on here so that you people will read, because it's as if I don't understand how people love their football club to the point of banter over common sense. That will never be me. There's none of your clubs I hate more than I love Arsenal. And that's the honest truth. So let's be watching all of you, Sha. Let's be watching all of you. Because I cannot understand in the name of banter. All the most popular football content creators in Nigeria, they're all doing banter. I don't understand the things that get people going, man. Then we're now complaining we're not getting proper journalism. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Gift articles. Share up to 10 articles a month. Why did they change it now? They used to allow me share guest pass. 10 gift articles left to share. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But I think I need to add some guest passes for the Athletic for people to read so that we can see. Brian, okay, Zambia don't win AFCON. You're right. Hey, let me not disrespect Zambia. They had their time. In fact, Zambia was the original powerhouse of Southern Africa. May their 94 squad rest in peace. Yeah, fair enough. Kalusha Bwala. Yeah, of course. Charles says if a journalist wants to start a protest, And that's why I want FFT to join because they can governance people. I love all this. Charles, God bless you. Please send me the info. Oh, yeah, of course, Motsepe is a wimp. Absolutely. You see, internal bans, but like I said, I created this channel to also provide credible journalism. I like the balance of banter from sometimes, but I don't like where it crosses the line. I'll be honest. Like, it makes a mockery of what we're trying to push. I've seen some of your fans celebrate. Nelsy, anyway, you know me and you, we go way back since we're 10, so I know you're not one of those. But honestly, I couldn't believe how far behind you guys are. I just looked at the table. So we'll see. Oh, Charles, you're a Chelsea fan as well. Wow. Honestly, I can't wait. I can tell your owners are running you guys to the ground, and we're gonna be here for your downfall for sure. For sure. No more. I just the air stuff. But Nelsy, when it was Champions League final, all of a sudden, Killer can't remember how to score. Anyway, I just think it's very concerning the way you guys. Something's wrong with Chelsea. Big time. So let's see how the rest of the season goes. Anyway, let me run through weekend player review for everybody's pleasure. Fulham were it actually against Liverpool. They lost 2-0 at Anfield. Of course, people have already spoken about Nigeria eligible Rio Ngomoa. Let's see, but you guys know, as our men know, they track these guys properly. Who is doing the work? But amazing to see him score. And I was so happy to watch Mohamed Salah score that goal. When I watched, do you see the way Salah took it one time? That is what Arsenal don't have. We have no clinical fin. Gyökeres, have you seen that bulky Timberland boot wearing striker? Jesus Christ. Anyway, Bassi and Robbie played 90 minutes. Chukwueze played the final 10 minutes. Next up for them, they played Brentford at 12:30 early kickoff on Saturday. But you have to say Fulham have probably lost the chance to make it into Europe. They've had a few bad results recently, so I think they're just a bit too far behind to really push for one of those solutions. So let's see. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand. Oh. I thought Leeds are about to score again. Tara Wani was not in the squad for yesterday's game, but Lion played 89 minutes as usual. As Nottingham Forest drew 1-1 against Aston Villa. Pretty good result for them, especially considering what happened to the spirit of the Tottenham. We all know what happened there. So let's see what going on. So really good point for Nottingham Forest, especially because we know Aston Villa are fighting for the Champions League spot and they will likely get it. I also think Aston Villa are favorites to win the Europa League, but let's see how that shakes out. Next up on Nottingham Forest, they've got a golden opportunity over the weekend to play Burnley at home on Sunday at 2 p.m. So that should be a very, very welcome 3 points Nottingham Forest. And if they don't win that match, they deserve to go down, I have to say. But prior to that, they've got a second leg at the City Ground. They drew against Porto 1-1 last week, Thursday. You remember I did on the weekend preview episode. So let's see if they can finish the job and make it to their first semi-final in probably 40, 50 years since they won the double European Cup. So I think that would be an amazing achievement for Nottingham Forest. And beating Burnley will give them a cushion that could allow them to focus on Europe. They would have played Porto. So if they then beat Burnley, it will allow them to focus a bit more on the semi-final. So let's see how that goes. Akor came on for the last 90 minutes as Wolves got thrashed 4-0 by West Ham. Mavropanos, man, what a performance. Bowen, survivor. And like I said, I was born near West Ham, so I have a soft spot for West Ham. So shout out to you, Hammers, and you, Irons. Let's see how it goes. Next up for them, a bumper 6-pointer between Wolves. No. Wolverhampton play Leeds away. Leeds will be hoping to get a win over Wolves because that should be a guaranteed 3 points. And now that they're beating Man United 2-0, and they're also into the semi-final of the FA Cup, you have to admit that the vibes at Leeds United right now are high. In fact, if I'm being honest, Leeds United are one of the top. Leeds, in theory, are a bigger club than Tottenham. I don't think people are very aware of Leeds United's history in the UK. Leeds United are a big club. Big. One of the few clubs in the country that's a one city club, like Newcastle and Sunderland. No, there's no other club in Leeds except Leeds United. And honestly, like, seeing the way they're going, if they could have like the Bournemouth and Brighton kind of transfer strategy, I would not mind seeing Leeds rise in the future. When I was young, I had a soft spot for Leeds, to be honest. They're almost like my second team when I was 8, 9 years old. So I think it'd be interesting to see. So let's see how Leeds United go against Wolverhampton next week. And unfortunately, I think between now and the end of the season, Akor Adams' mission is to score one more Premier League goal. Because I hate to sound like a bad man, but I don't think he's ever going to play in the Premier League again. He's not good enough for the Prem, at least right now. Maybe he's 25, so he may still have another growth spurt in his career, but it's not here right now. and I don't think it's coming, you know. So I hope he can still score one more Prem goal just for the vibes, and then we'll see how it goes. As for Kazant Uche, he has not been in a Crystal Palace squad in over a month, since the 5th of March. Funny enough, secret between me and you guys, I know who does Kazant Uche's hair. So I'm trying to see if I can figure out a way to speak to Uche again and just ask him if he's doing okay. Because it must be a tough season, especially considering what happened last season with Getafe and how well things went for them. So it's interesting. Okay, Man United have equalized. I've scored one. Fernandez assist because I captained him. Fantastic. They need to give Casemiro a new contract, man. This remontada Casemiro style, Brazil captain. I mean, there's a what? Imagine, no, Brazil can't win the World Cup. I mean, I hope they can, you know, to restore the feeling. By the way, guys, if Brazil do not win the World Cup this summer, they will officially be on their longest ever World Cup trophy drought, because their biggest trophy drought was between 1970 and 1994, 24 years. This World Cup is going to be exactly 24 years since the 2002 World Cup. Yeah. So if Brazil don't win, which I can't see how it's going to happen, unless Ancelotti can figure it out for 7 games. They have so much attacking talent, and it's funny how they can't put it together, but it's funny how you see semblance of a team playing. Like, Argentina are not more talented than Brazil, but they'll beat them every single time. It's the same way I respect Eric Shell ball so much, because now we've seen a structure of performance from our players. And I'm telling you, let's just keep Eric Shell. The things we're going to do to countries. One to Odumodu. Groovy. Hey. Anyway, where was Oloke? So, Kazant Uche, wish you well. He's not going to play any of the games Crystal Palace over the next 2 days. 2 games, but we can hope. Palace play West Ham at home Monday night, but they have to play Fiorentina away in the Conference League quarterfinal second leg. They're 3-0 up, so there's no way. I can't see Crystal Palace because he didn't throw unreplied goals. And Jean-Philippe Matata, remember, there's a Crystal Palace player. By the way, this could be a good topic like Da Vinci gives me. I have to confess, Matata's celebration is my favorite celebration in football. I'm not gonna lie. Like, every time he scores at Sellers Park and he does that little boom, I'm just like, that is a sick celebration. Because I was watching it yesterday, I was like, what are people's favorite celebrations in football? Like, obviously, like someone with the signature celebration. We know Henry with the knee slides, but Mateta, I love his selling too much. Too much. So, anyway, well, good luck, Uche. We know you're still a great player, and bro, I am rooting for you. Please, I will be here to remind people of your talent. You're young enough that you could charge this season to the game. At least you must have learned a lot of things about the business of football. 2 years ago, you're playing in the Spanish third division. Now you're playing for a Premier League club. I'm sure the next opportunity, he will not let himself down, and he will pick his battles well. Do you know that there are startups in football? I know a business based in Netherlands. I can't remember their name, but they're a consultancy. There's their job. Their job is basically speaking to agents and players and showing them the clubs that they fit in best with, based on their style of play, philosophy, your gameplay as a player. And I really think I hope I'm using the NFF to help me cloud my judgment, because you really expect that most players, their agents are already doing these basic things. But with Nigeria, can we really say with certainty that these players are really like studying where they're being told to go and making the right decisions? When you see the way some of these players end up, like Duro Simi, was Pisa really a smart move? Why couldn't you stay at Victoria Pilsen to the end of the season and then take your pick of clubs in the summer? Now you go from being a Europa League playing player to someone who's going to Serie B next year. It just doesn't seem very smart. You know, so I just wonder who's talking to these people and telling them things that they're doing. So let's see how it goes. But anyway, other results in the Prem, we already know about the ones with our players. Arsenal, of course, I've already lamented about our 2-1 loss on Saturday, early kickoff. Shameful stuff. Brentford drew 2-2 against Everton. Pretty good game. Igor Thiago, thank you for the FPL points. First Brazilian ever to score more than up to 20 goals in the Prem, by the way. What a performance. Caught up to the Brazil squad, scored a penalty as well in their last game. I put in the team they beat, but they beat them well. It was after the France game. I've forgotten. Anyway, Brighton beat Burnley 2-0. Very, very good performance from Brighton as usual. They're heating up as well. Shout out to Verbruggen and Van Hecke for the fancy points. Of course, saw Liverpool beat Fulham. Ingomua, we're watching you, my boy. We're watching you. Palace beat Newcastle 2-1. Jean-Philippe, as I mentioned. Then, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I even thought De Zerbi would find a way to draw against Sunderland, but lo and behold, Tottenham did Tottenham things. So they lost 1-0 to Sunderland, and their heads just dropped, and that was the end of the game. And then Chelsea, I've already spoken about those bombs. First half, I didn't watch the game initially till I got home. I saw a notification that they had disallowed goal. I was like, wait, let me not get too excited. Next time I saw my phone, it was 3-0. I said, now one for these guys. And of course, right now, Leeds United are 2-1 up against United. I probably would expect United to score an equalizer because these are current things they like to do. But I'm hoping Leeds can survive and keep the lead. So we'll see how it goes. Table, it means, of course, Arsenal, we're still 6 points. We're still 6 points ahead of Man City, by the way. The way people are talking, you will not think. But I also agree. Look, it's very ominous. If City win next week, they're going to catch us and it's over and we catch the smoke again. But that's if we don't win the Champions League. But if we draw or win at the Etihad, that's why I like what Gary Neville said yesterday. If you're an Arsenal player, you literally have one game that could determine whether you win your first league title as a club in 22 years. Go for it. All this fear or whatever it is. But I have to admit that if Arsenal lose that game well on Sunday, there's definitely a mentality problem at the Emirates. I know there is already, but that'll be the final confirmation. And God help them if they somehow lose to Sporting Lisbon while being up 1-0. Arteta, it will not be funny. So let's see how that goes. But anyway, Man United, after this loss, if they lose, they will be on the same number of points as Aston Villa, and Liverpool are 3 points behind. Now, the good news for them is Man United, Villa, and Liverpool look like they've pulled away slightly from the chasing pack. Chelsea are 4 points behind Liverpool. Yes, they play each other, but Chelsea have lost 4 of their last 5 Prem games. And I'm still seeing them on the comments coming to worry about other teams. Very shameless people. Brentford, of course, 4 draws in a row, and they're still only 1 point behind Chelsea. To the point, as I said already, Chelsea are literally 6 points ahead of 14th place Newcastle. So, like I said, focus on what's important, Chelsea fans, and mind your business. Thank you. Since you think first place is your rival right now, and you're closer to 14th place than you are to first place, you're 22 points away from first place and 6 points away from 14th, and you want to open your mouth. In fact, you're only 16 points away from 17th. You're closer to the relegation zone than you are to top of the table, and you're opening your mouth. In fact, Chelsea are literally 18 points above Tottenham and 22 points behind Arsenal. So as long as that's the case, hush your mouth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not leaving you, all of you. I'm not leaving all of you. I know you people are the most fans in Nigeria, especially once Mikel signed for Chelsea, but the Lulu must stop. Yeah. And like I said, we're still in the Premier League title. If we win, we're going to get it done. And last I heard, we're the only English club that look like we're going to be in the Champions League semi-final. So all I'll say is, if you want to point your gun and fire, just hold off for 4 or 5 weeks. Let us now really complete the bottle. Then clown me properly, then I'll live with it. Because what Arsenal and Nigeria have done to me this year, no AFCON, no World Cup. Okay, we came third. I was all right with that. But if I end up trophyless and World Cup-less, because you people know me, I don't acknowledge my other nationality when it comes to football. You know, then you can unload the Beretta. Let the Glock 9 load up. Brrr, you can fire as you like. But for now, caution. Anyway, fixtures for the weekend. We'll also touch on it on the preview on Thursday. Brentford play Fulham in the early kickoff, 12:30. Leeds United play Wolves at 3 p.m. Newcastle hosts Bournemouth at 3 p.m. at St. James's Park. Tottenham hosts Brighton at Tottenham Stadium. That should be a great game. De Zerbi's old team versus Tottenham. And Brighton are currently on a 4-game unbeaten run. They've won 4 of their last 5 games and 3 in a row. We will be seated for that at 5:30. And then 8 p.m., Chelsea play Man United. So you're telling me that Chelsea, even though you're 7 points behind Man U, you get to play Man U. Watch them. I hope they'll celebrate another loss in that game, since that's where you guys have reached. You don't care about your club ambition and what you need to do in life. I don't know if you've read the Athletic article about your financial predicament and how you need to make the Champions League, because you won't be able to sell your women's team again. So I'm on your ass. They're telling me Saicedo can progress the ball. Look at that stupid mistake he made yesterday. Do you know what it means for Jeremy Doku to score a goal against you? How many goals does Doku have? How often does he score goals? Bums. And I put João Pedro and Palma in my squad. Waste of space. Better beat Man U, silly guys. I put your players in there. Calvin Lewin, how did you miss that? I was going to put you in my FPL. Anyway, I have a soft spot for Calvert-Lewin. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, moving on. Next ones to go. Coventry, Franco Akers. Coventry drew 0-0 against Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. That's a shocking result. Sheffield Wednesday have -6. So for them to have drawn against Coventry, damn. Anyway, Coventry need just one more point to clinch the championship title. No, one more point to qualify to clinch promotion to the Premier League, and they just need a few more points to clinch the title. And they get the opportunity when they play Ryan Alebiosu's Blackburn Rovers away at Ewood Park Friday 8 p.m. So we may see Franco Akers celebrating coming back to the Prem as soon as Friday evening. Shebi Ajayi played 90 minutes, but Hull City lost 2-1 Sheffield United, unfortunately. They're now 6th and just on the precipice. They're still in the playoff positions, but they have to be very, very careful. Next up for them, Shebi Ajayi's Hull plays Osai Samuel's Birmingham City Saturday 3 p.m. And then Osai Samuel played 90 minutes over the weekend. They actually won the match. They beat Wrexham by 2-0 in the early kickoff. Really, really good performance by Osai Samuel and his teammates. They remain 15th and they've got nothing to play for the rest of the season. So let's see how he gets on. He's another player that I would like to see him sort out his ambition in the summer. We know you're a very good player, Osai. You're 28 years old. You cannot spend your prime years playing for Birmingham City as a rotating fullback. Brother, you used to be a winger turning up the championship. You went to Fenerbahce, you did good things there, and now you've come back to where you used to be. But now, as a rotating fullback, come on, bro. Like, please, we know you're much better than that. So find your next team in the summer and make sure it's a top league. I'm tired of all these people that like second division. Anyway, apart from that, we already spoke about Alebiosu's assist in Blackburn's 1-1 draw against Stoke. Next up for him, Blackburn plays Southampton tomorrow. That's a rearranged fixture because Southampton had to play the FA Cup. We all know who they beat. No need to remind me. But we'll see Alebiosu play tomorrow evening, and then he'll play Franco Akers Coventry on Friday. I expect to just continue performing well, and in the summer, let's see where Alebiosu ends up. And then Joaribo has now even turned into a bench warmer for Leicester, who are on course to get relegated. Leicester lost 1-0 to Swansea at home, and it now means that they are literally 4 points away from safety. The good news for them is their next game is against Portsmouth, who are the team that they're trying to reel back into the relegation spots, but it is away. So Leicester have to find a way to beat Portsmouth on Saturday. If not, I think we can start preparing for Leicester being in League One again. So let's see how that goes. In Syria, Giftaban played the final 30 minutes. Verona lost 2-1 to Torino on Saturday. It's not looking good. Next up for them, they play AC Milan on Sunday. I already spoke about Maduka Okoye's exploits for Udinese in a 3-0 win over AC Milan. They're now 10th in the league. And next up for him, they play Parma at home. So I'm sure he'll be feeling confident about keeping a potential 4th clean sheet in a row. Although Udinese don't have too much to play for, which I think makes it more impressive how they're really still being very professional and delivering on their ambitions. So long may it continue, Madux. Fisaya Delebashu is playing right now. Let me check that score. You people know me on FBB. We locked in for life. They're losing to Fiorentina. Fuck it out. 1-0. Robin Gosens is playing. No wonder they're losing. This is the first match in like 6 games that Fisaya Delebashu did not start. And they just brought him on as a sub. Robin Gosens, remember him from Inter Milan and German International. It's 1-0 in stoppage time. So safe to say Lazio are about to lose the game. This is not good, man. I think Lazio may sack Sarri, you know. They're literally 9th in no man's land. Yes, they're 1 point above Udinese, but Lazio's ambitions should be different. The one saving grace for Lazio, despite being 9th, though, is I am pretty sure that they do have a Coppa Italia semi-final second leg coming up against Lazio in literally 9 days' time. It's currently 2-2 from the first leg. I mean, against Atalanta. So there's a world where they could sneak into the Coppa Italia final. They will have to play Inter or Como, who you have to say they'll be underdogs against. But if they could win the Italian Cup, then they will end up going into Europa League. So let's see. So we'll see how it goes. So anyway, Fisayo is on the pitch, but they're about to lose the match. Ebenezer Kisomero finally played some minutes for Pizza, playing the last 36 minutes, while Dorosimi played 16 minutes and had a shot, as Pizza got absolutely thrashed 3-0 by Roma on Friday. Next up for Pizza, they played Genoa at home. But let me just tell you something. It has reached the point where we should not even give you updates on Verona and Pizza. Those two clubs are so shit. They're so shit. I'm telling you, it's so bad. Like, Giftaban, I can't wait for you to go back to Hoffenheim and sort your situation out. And Akisomiro, go back to Inter and speak to your agent. I know you also have good management. Durosimi, we'll figure it out for you in summer and see what's going. La Liga, I already spoke about. Look, man, only playing 19 minutes. Atletico lost 2-1 to Sevilla. But honestly, Atletico Madrid do not give a flying fuck. They have a 2-0 lead that they get carried to the Metropolitano tomorrow as they host Barcelona with the chance to make it back to the Champions League final for the first time since 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Or did they play 2018? No. 2014, they were there. 2016, they were there again because 2015 was Juventus Barcelona. Yeah, since 2016. Atletico Madrid have not played more than 2 Champions League finals. I'm sure of that. So they could get the opportunity to make it to their first Champions League final in 10 years tomorrow night if they could somehow beat Barcelona and they have a 2-goal lead. Now, I have to be honest, if there's a team that could do it, it's Barcelona. I mean, look at Lamine Yamal over the weekend against Espanyol. But I have to say I'm excited for the most haram ball possible by Mr. Diego Simeone. You know, this has been a great game to get press pass, but now we're back in employment. We have to pick our battles. But very, very excited for the game. I'm sure everyone's buzzing to watch that. And I know Nigeria, we have a lot of Barcelona fans. So I don't know. I wish you guys well. Either way, I'll be happy. I'll either get my date of destiny with Arsenal, Barcelona again. You know, I've only played one Champions League final, 2006. So it'll be timely to go back 20 years after and play Barcelona in the semi-final and knock them out and go to the final. Yes, if we play PSG or Bayern or Liverpool, it'll be tough, but I still back my boys. We can't be this poor for the rest of the season. Eventually, something's going to have to snap. So we'll see how that goes. After that, imagine after they get the opportunity to make it to the Champions League semi-final tomorrow, they get to win their first trophy of the season on Saturday in the Copa del Rey final at 8 p.m. Atletico Madrid versus Real Sociedad. Look, man, everybody, Luku, you are a winner. Just after winning this trophy, which we know happened 2 years ago, we have a player who was born African Footballer of the Year, and literally in less than 3 months since he put pen to paper for Atletico Madrid, he could win his first trophy for them. Mind you, there's players with careers who never won trophies. So look, man, God bless you. The way favor and joy will locate you, may it continue in Jesus' name. So go for that title, and I hope you beat Barcelona tomorrow. So let's see how that game goes. I spoke about Akor Adams. Educate was on new sub. You see, when they stop giving Educate these charity minutes, look at they finally won a match. If you know, you know. Anyway, no game for Sevilla this weekend. I think it's because of the Copa del Rey final. And Omar Sadiq played 61 minutes, but Valencia lost 1-0 to Elche on Saturday. But they're very, very clear of relegation zone, so they're fine. Bundesliga, Nathan Teller started in Leverkusen's 1-0 win over Borussia Dortmund. He had a very, very good game. And I keep telling you guys, Nathan Teller is one to watch. A player does not resign a contract for a club after he's just come back from a long-term injury if they don't believe in him. Look at the season where Leverkusen won the title unbeaten. You would have said Boniface's influence was here and Teller's influence was here. But who did they ship to Werder Bremen? And who did they resign on a new contract even though he was out for a period of time? I'm sorry, but those things all indicate things about professionalism, the way you take care of your body, and the potential they still see in you, and also their willingness to take your bullshit. Clubs will always deal with superstars, but some clubs don't like taking nonsense. So I think the fact that Bayer Leverkusen gave Nathan Teller a new contract 2 weeks ago, and he's now back starting games, and they're beating Dortmund away. Literally, they've done a world of good for their chances of making it back to the Champions League because now they're only a few points off Stuttgart in 4th place. Yes, it's likely Spain will get that 5th position for the Champions League, which means Real Betis may make the champs. But Leverkusen, be wary. I think they may make a late surge back into the Champions League spots, and long may it continue. Next up for them, they play Uchina Ogundu's Auberg at home on Saturday. Speaking of Auberg, Ugundu was an unused sub in their 2-2 draw against Hoffenheim on Friday. And speaking of Hoffenheim, next up for Ugundu, they play Leverkusen away. Speaking of Hoffenheim, Akpoguma finally played some charity minutes, coming on in the 89th minute in that 2-2 draw against Auberg. Hoffenheim have pretty much thrown away their Champions League spot. They look like they're in the driving seat, but now they're 6th in the league after drawing 2-2 against Auberg. And it doesn't get any easier because Hoffenheim's next game is against Dortmund at home. And Dortmund are, of course, reeling after that 1-0 loss. So I'm sure they'll be out for blood. Werder Bremen, on the other hand, lost again, 3-1. Felix Agu started the game and played 79 minutes, but they are back in a precarious position and need to be careful. Their next game, they play Filipe Otero and Torunarigas. Hamburg at home on Saturday. So that'll be a big, big game. As for Hamburg, Philippe Botelli was on a new sub, which was pretty strange. While Torunariga played 90 minutes, but Hamburg lost 4-0 against Stuttgart. So I guess the message for the Hamburg manager, play Philippe Botelli. Thank you. So let's see how they go when they play Werder Bremen away. In League One, I already spoke about Moses Simon's exploits for Paris FC and how he's literally like turning back the hand of time with his performances recently. Next up for them, they play bottom of the table Mets, so they'll probably win that game. And they're pretty much too high to go down anyway. Chidozie Awaziem, on the other hand, Nantes are going to get relegated. Awaziem is either going to play League 2 football or move in the summer. They drew 0-0 against Auxerre on Saturday. And I think they're now 9 points off safety, so they're not going to survive. Tochukwu Nadi finally played some minutes. Yes, it was charity minutes, but he played 8 minutes for Marseille in their 3-1 win over bottom of the table Mets on Friday. Next up for them, they play Lorient away. That'll be a tricky tie because Lorient have done pretty well in their first season back from League 2. And let's see if Tochukwu is able to play a few more games. What I want from Marseille is they need to make the Champions League. The top 3 teams in France make it to the Champions League, and right now, Lille occupy that position. Marseille only 1 point behind them, but Marseille fans be so frustrated. Marseille are such a wishy-washy club, man. But let's see what happens in that game against Lorient. In Portugal, Porto beat Estoril 3-1. Sanusi started again. I'm telling you, it's so ironic the way we see Sanusi and his bad performance for Nigeria. Because all of a sudden, he's now playing exceptionally well for Porto. He's starting all the games. Francisco Favioli trusts him so much. But it's just annoying how it doesn't translate to the national team. Because honestly, the way Zaidu is playing well, things continue to go well, I'm telling you. So let's see how that goes. Next up for them, of course, Murphy played the last 20 minutes, by the way. So sad seeing him get booed by his fans on Thursday after their 2-2 draw against Nottingham Forest. So I'm hoping that he got a better reception when he came on for those last 20 minutes on Sunday. Let's see if he starts in the second leg at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest on Thursday. And whatever happens, Porto are on course to win the title after losing it out in the last 2 years. So Terry Murphy and Zaidu Sanusi will become league champions again. So looking forward to that. They also played Tondela at home. Omar Abubakar was on the bench until the 88th minute for Famalicão. They drew on against Morense. Next up for them, they play Braga away on Sunday. Isaac James wants to monitor. That's kind of player that should come to the Unity Cup. Left back starting for Alverca, who are 10th in the Portuguese league. He's been starting pretty much all their games. He started yet again over the weekend as they beat Casapia 3-1. Next up, they play Nacional away. Humble guy, and I really, really wish him all the best. In Belgium, on the other hand, Rafa Redika played 89 minutes as Club Brugge beat St. Truden 2-1 on Saturday. Next up for them, they play Saint-Gilloise away on Sunday. And I have to say this, another title, very, very important title decider. Saint-Gilloise are about to run away with the title. And if Club Brugge have any hope of calling that back, they need to beat Saint-Gilloise on Sunday. As for Girasol, Genk, he was on the bench in the 0-0 draw against UH Leuven on Sunday. Let's see if he plays when they play Westerlo away on Saturday. Chibike Ekwemesi played 9 minutes for UH Leuven in that same game. And next up for him, he'll play Royal Antwerp on Saturday. In Turkey, I already spoke about Osimhen not being in action as he was in the stands as Galatasaray drew 1-1 at home. At home, oh! What was that Turkish fan from last week that was telling us that Osimhen is not that great? After we told him that we don't want Osimhen to stay in the Turkish league. Do you remember that? That's nonsense. Look, if you see how useless this Galatasaray guy is, you're like, Osimhen is not on that pitch. Osimhen, let's win our second title and get out there, man. Much love and respect. Next up for them, they play Janaka Brigley away on Saturday. And it now means that Galatasaray are only 2 points ahead of Fenerbahce. I think it might even be 1 point. Pololachi, on the other hand, was not in the squad. He got an injury. Even though Chibike Nwaiwu played 90 minutes and Nwakeme started, of course, Trabzonspor struggled to win a match once Onuachu is not there. They ended up drawing 1-1 against Alanya Sport on Sunday, which has put a bit of a dent in their title hopes. Next up for them, they play Istanbul Basaksehir at home on Sunday, so let's see how they get on. Rufen Didi is currently injured for up to 6 weeks, so we wish him a speedy recovery, Super Eagles captain. While Anthony Dennis played 57 minutes, as Gotsepe drew 3-3 against Kasim Pasa. And next up for them, they play Kocaelispor, who are the team that just drew 1-1 against Galatasaray. In Czech Republic, I want to highlight Czech Republic because we have a lot of players who come through that pipeline. Igor Ugbo, David Moses, and Samuel Esife. Samuel Esife should be invited to the Unity Cup. This is a guy who has his career progression is fantastic. Played for Dukla Praha at the start of the season, got a winter transfer to Slavia Prague in January. It didn't even waste up to 6 weeks to become their starting right wing back. And now he plays every game. and his profile has changed. Slavia Prague are going to win the Czech Republic title, and they'll go into the playoffs for the Champions League. So there's a world where he could even end up playing Champions League football next year. So fair play to you, Samuel Esife. At worst, you're going to end up playing Europa League football next year. And I think you definitely have a good agent that's thinking about you. I hope so. But I love your progression. And all these three players all started as Slavia Prague drew 0-0 against Victoria Pilsen on Sunday, who are also their title rivals. But they still remain top of the league. And let's see if they could beat Hradec Králové away on Sunday. As for Victoria Pilsen, Salim Fago is still injured. So when he comes back, let's hope for some more positive news for him and see how it goes. Bruno Yemechi was not in action over the weekend as Olympiacos did not play. But next up for them, they play Sirudezas Panathinaikos on Sunday. But Sirudezas is still injured. As for the Scottish League, we saw Kelechi Iheanacho come off the bench in 62nd minute as Celtic beat St. Mirren 1-0 on Saturday. I have to admit, the Scottish League title race is one of the fun ones this year. You know, Hearts, Rangers, and Celtic are currently separated by 2 points, 1 point, I think. And guess the best part. If I was a betting man, Hearts have 70 points, Rangers have 69 points, Celtic have 67 points, and they all have 5 games to go. But most importantly, I noticed that Celtic get to play both Hearts and Rangers at Celtic Park. And everybody knows about the atmosphere at Celtic Park. So either way, I'm not going to be mad. I just hope Celtic or Rangers win it because I want Kelechi Iheanacho to win a league title for the first time in his career. Or we'll see Manuel Fernandes win the first league title of his career. So either way, I'm happy. As long as it's not Hearts, even though that would be good for the neutral. But we care about Nigerian footballers over here. So let's see how they end up. Next up for Kelechi Iheanacho, though, he'll be playing the same opposition, St. Mirren, in the semi-final of the Scottish FA Cup on Sunday at 2 p.m. As for Emmanuel Fernandes, he played all 90 minutes as Rangers came from behind to beat Falkirk 6-3. Very, very good performance. And I have to say, Rangers look like the form side in Scotland. So based on form, I expect Rangers to win it. But based on those 2 home games Celtic have at home, especially with someone like Martin O'Neill, seasoned performer, you know, OG of the game, you could see a world where the romantic in me would like to see Martin O'Neill. He had him managed for well over 15 years, come back, and he saved his beloved Celtic. Remember, he was the manager when Henrik Larsson used to play for Celtic, when they were like Celtic, when Mikel Arteta played for Rangers, and you play Celtic and Rangers in the Champions League very regularly. So I think it'll be a nice story to see Martin O'Neill go back there like 20 years later and win a league title. And then Iheanacho, maybe he can even score the winning goal, you know. So these are the kind of things that come to my head sometimes. So fair play to all of them. Anyway, because of the Scottish FA Cup games over the weekend, there's no league games over the weekend. And of course, we already spoke about Zadok Johanna the Great and his assist earlier today. But unfortunately, they drew 2-2. Next up for him, he plays Karma FF at home on Sunday in that 50,000 arena. Also, I love the name. Do you know the name of Ike Stadium? It's called the Strawberry Arena. That's such a great name, like Strawberry Arena. I can't wait to visit. That'll be amazing. And it's good for us to go now when the weather's decent. I only go to Scandinavia in the summer. Miss me with all that weather, man. Oloke and the cold do not go together. I would never go to a ski trip unless my wife or my children force me. Me, I like sunshine and pina coladas. Yeah, that's a bit of me. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, because people have been talking about him a lot, I wanted to bring a player to your listening pleasure. Prosper Uba. He came off the bench in 90th minute for Shakhtar in their 2-2 draw earlier today. They're second in the league, so it's not even confirmed that they're going to win the league. But the reason I wanted to bring him to your listening pleasure as well is Shakhtar Donetsk are actually in the quarterfinal of the Conference League. And they won the first leg by 3-0 over AZ Alkmaar on Thursday. So they have a very healthy lead, and they play AZ Alkmaar in the second leg on Thursday. So let's just say we expect Shakhtar Donetsk to make it to the semi-final of the Conference League. So imagine Prosper Alba ends up winning the Conference League title. I think that would be amazing to watch. So let's see how it goes. And I've heard he's a very tricky player that I want to watch better. Also, Manchester divided have lost to Leeds United. Do you know how much of a monumental result this is? Leeds are one of your biggest rivals. I hope you United fans know. Don't tell me it's man's up. Yes, City and Arsenal first and Liverpool. But Leeds United are big United rivalries. Ask anybody in this country. and for you to lose to them at Old Trafford. This is the United I remember. Okafor, Niger boy. God will bless you and your family. I'm gonna watch Monday Night Football for the next hour. I don't even care if they predict Arsenal are gonna bottle. I just need to be on front of my screen and watch this United chat. Since they've had chat for everybody, now you're losing to Leeds United. Leeds! Well done, Daniel Farker. They doubted you last season. They said, can you do a job in the Prem? Daniel Farker said, don't worry. Hold my beer. And now Leeds United are whooping 6 points clear of the relegation zone. Wow, what results. So I think at this point, and they're only 4 points away from the dreaded 40 points. So we can say with some certainty Leeds United will stay in the Premier League. I think that's for sure now. And now it goes to Nottingham Forest versus West Ham versus Tottenham. Who is ready to rumble? Tottenham need to go down, man. I need to feed myself. Bummy. But United, for today, you take the smoke. And God help you if you lose to Chelsea next week. So wait, if Man U lose to Chelsea next week, United will only be 4 points ahead of them with 5 games to go because they played 3 games. Well done. Keep all of you, if you like, don't face your fronts. Be worrying about your big brother in front of all of you. Don't focus on your fronts. Well done. Anyway, let me round up. Then I'll go to the comments. And if anyone wants to talk quickly, we could do that almost at 2 hours. And I'm trying to make it more concise. I really love the fact people still watch. But every time I see 3 hours, 30 minutes, I'm like, man, if someone wants to watch this for 3 hours, 30 minutes, they must really like the sound of my voice. So. But to be fair, we do be chopping up the content. And I appreciate you guys for always watching. One content I might stop doing, you people don't watch it enough. Every time I do top picks outside of the Premier League for the weekend show, nobody ever watches that one. Is if it's something about a player or some kind of scandal or the NFF, then they watch. But if I'm saying, oh, go and watch Akor Adams Sevilla, they're like, I beg, don't tell me what to watch. So it's all good, but please tell me what you guys would like to see. I always want to know. To round up the podcast, the ones to watch for the week. Like I said, tomorrow, we get the second leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. First of all, Liverpool play PSG at Anfield, hoping to turn around a 2-0 deficit. I can't see it happening. I think PSG probably even win at Anfield, but they keep telling us about Anfield atmosphere. So we'll see. But most importantly for our audience, Ademiran Lookman is going to be suited up tomorrow, 8 p.m. at the Metropolitano. Atletico Madrid playing Barcelona. To be honest, must see TV. I am so excited. I might ever buy popcorn. And then on Wednesday, we get to see Bayern Munich and Real Madrid slug it out. Bayern Munich have a 2-1 lead from the Bernabeu. And you have to say that they look like the best team in Europe right now. And I really can't see. Although it's Real Madrid, it's still Real Madrid. But that should be a tasty second leg. And then, of course, Arsenal plays Sporting Lisbon at the Emirates. I mean, don't even get me started on the Emirates, man. Damn. No, but it's on the manager. He told us to bring our lunch, bring our dinner. And they served us that 2-pack of horse shit. So I hope we will not be here again and saying that Sporting Lisbon have knocked us out of a European competition for the second time in 2 years. Because they knocked us out of the Europa League 2 years ago. So Arteta, I was enough for the Wazoo. Then on Thursday, we'll see Nottingham Forest, all I know, play against FC Porto, Sanusi and Murphy in the Europa League. We'll also see Prosper Ubaz, Shakhtar Donetsk in action against AZ Alkmaar away. So this will be played in the Netherlands. And while we know Crystal Palace will be playing, because Uche is not in the squad, so no need to mention that. And then there's a bag of games over the weekend. Saturday, it will be Basi Chukweze's Fulham play against Brentford away. Maduka Okoye's Udinese will be hosting Parma. Nathan Teller's Leverkusen will be in action against Uchenna Agundu's Auberg. Felix Agu's Werder Bremen will be playing against Filippo Tele and Torino Riga's Hamburg at 2:30 p.m. Arco Dare's Wolves will be playing against Leeds United at 3 p.m. Tochiko Nadi's Marseille will go away to play Lorient 4 p.m. Fisao Delebashu's Lazio go away to play Napoli at the Maradona Stadium 5 p.m. And then Lukman, most importantly, will be playing Copa del Rey final at 8 p.m. on Saturday against Real Sociedad with the chance to win his first piece of silverware for his new club. And then on Sunday, we'll see the Nottingham Forest boys, Aino and Aoni, host Burnley at the City Ground. And then Gift Urbans Verona will be hosting AC Milan, even though they're pretty much hopeless right now. And then Paris FC's Moses Simon gets to play against Metz away on Sunday. So we'll see how that gets on. Also, just to mention, I will check if Osimhen is back before the Istanbul derby. If he plays against Ceneklebrigi away on Saturday. This Ceneklebrigi that I saw how to pronounce, by the way, they have Enrio Yekuru, they have Issa Delebashu's brother, Tom Delebashu plays for them as well. So we shall see what happens on that one. But those are the ones to watch for the week. That's it for this episode of the podcast. I'll leave time for 5 minutes for anyone that wants to talk quickly. But I want to say a big thank you to everybody on the channels. You can see all our social media channels right below. As I said, I want to say a big thank you to everybody for the love. I go back to full-time employment for transparency tomorrow. So I'll still continue to find the balance to juggle all of this. Maybe by God's grace, one day we'll get to a place where I could live off the ecosystem of the podcasts and everything that we do. But for now, that day has not come here. So I'll see how I readjust our Thursday live streams. I may have to change it to a pre-recorded version just for balancing life. You have a day job, you have a podcast, you're still trying to get in shape. Shout out to everybody telling me about how I've lost fat. And I looked at the video of me doing the Nigeria Congo preview. I could not believe the size of my cheeks. I said, oh, okay, oh my God. What happened to you, brother? So shout out for change on running. That's my new medium. I love to run. I never thought I'd enjoy it. So just juggling all the priorities, and in this life, there must always still be time for romance. I don't believe in lack of soft life. I love woman, they make the world go round. So we always have time. So thanks for all the support and allowing me to find the balance in the podcast. I've just put the link in there in case anyone wants to quickly give us. But this time I have to time it for 5 minutes. My legs hurt. Like I said, I ran like 4.5 kilometers, 4.5K, literally an hour before I did the show. So I need to sit my ass down. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Let me quickly go through all the comments and see if Shehu or anybody joins. And then let's go enjoy the rest of Monday Night Football. What's our like count like now? 33. We'll manage it, sure. So maybe there's 7 people that did not put it. Daniel Elumelu says thoughts on Zadok again and assist. Yeah, we spoke about that earlier. Amazing to see. He now has 4 goals and 4 assists in 7 games. So more than 1 return per game, whether that's a goal or assist. But of course, we want him to continue keeping up the good work. Unfortunately, his team conceded a last-minute equalizer, so they drew the match today. But we hope for better news going forward. And I'm just excited about him, to be honest. Like I was saying to the chat earlier, I have messaged AIK's press team to see if they could give me a press pass to watch his game on the 10th of May against Djurgården. Apparently, it's a big Stockholm derby. So I'm trying to see if they'll heed my request, and hopefully I'll be able to go there. So shout out to Zadok. Long may the performances continue. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love that Taiwo was always giving me names of ballers. Taiwo, can you please give me the names of the ballers? Do you mind just emailing me Olu and Nigerian Football Weekly? Send me a lot of these, not all of them, but the ones that you're really like sure about. Like, is there anybody that we really need to be watching that at the moment I'm not watching? I would love to get that information to make sure that we keep that information going. Thank you so much. Comments. Where did I stop? Thank you, Nelzy, man. Viduka, Harikyo, Ferdinand, Alan Smith. You know, ball, my brother. What a time. With that Strongbow jersey. Like crack. They stop. My favorite, Ian Hart. That left back. Oh my God. The original free kick master as a defender. He was incredible. Exactly, Charles. I also believe Akor needs to hit 10 to 15 goals. In fact, that's why I need to get 10 goals because I know how bad Sevilla's attack is. But honestly, when you see what he's capable of, it's a disgrace that he's not in a club that could give him at least 15 league goals. Like I said, his debut season for Montpellier, I know how crazy he went in his first 3 months. So we know there's a player there that could do amazing things. So let's see how it goes. Brian Tawia says, Olu, Lord, manager or head coach. Man, I need to go do coaching licenses, but also I'll never be coach of Nigeria. So people got me insulting me anyhow. I'd rather do my media work or work in the administration. I really, really care about the administration. I can't believe we have so many incompetent people. If it's God's plan that one day we'll enter there to make change in our own capacity, so be it. But this is why you guys could also see I like doing things by myself. Anything I can control the space. If you go and do administration, one as a man will tell you that if you do this, we'll block your money from this one. you know, Nigeria politics now. But to be honest, if I can avoid all that stuff and bring some professionalization, I would love to be able to play a part in making sure our football works. Because I know the amount of joy it's going to bring to the country. I know the amount of jobs we could create. Can you imagine if we had a working league? All the jobs from vendors, suppliers, when there's match day. Imagine all the kind of things you could sell. And Nigerians were very good at understanding economics, but our leaders are just here to make us look stupid. It's so annoying. So I hope so one day, man. But manager or head coach, I hope Eric Shaw remains. Let him continue. But I appreciate the kind words, my brother. Thank you so much. Shout out to Eric Shaw as well. Thank you so much. I always love that. Charles says Uche shouldn't have gone to the PL, should have gone to Como's. Oh, Como. Top midfielder, I would have done so much. But I'm not sure if Como would have taken him. You know, Fabregas likes his technical midfielders. But I'm sure Uche would have had options. You're definitely right. Like, I know how well he batted up La Liga last year. So something would have shaken out. No, Emmanuel Dennis, that was not a serious fellow. In fact, don't even get me started, Emmanuel Dennis. Emmanuel Dennis, Samuel Kalu, any player that you saw come to England and flop stupidly, just know they were in LA Lounge. I can say this with my mouth because I saw LA Lounge. I saw Samuel Kalu coming out of LA Lounge 4 years ago at 3 a.m. when he had a match at 3 p.m. the next day. So that's why right now he's in Bulgaria and nobody gives a damn about his career. Good. Because when he was in the big leagues, he did not treat it like the big leagues. You go from Bordeaux, you come to Premier League, you're treating it like, I even think at that time, Watford were even in the championship. Very unserious fellow. Very, very unserious. I hate players that are very unserious. Emmanuel Dennis too. That was more interested in being around copy than actually for his career. And I hate when footballers forget that it's your football that's the main thing. It's like musicians. Music is the main thing. Football is the main thing. Politician, policies are the main thing. What did you deliver? Look at this New York Mandani guy. All of a sudden, we're seeing how politicians can operate. Even compared to England, don't even get inside with Nigeria. They'll tell you that it's my turn and they should be in government. You now see Nigerians go online and tell you that you should explain why Peter Obi is a good candidate. But they don't want to explain why the current candidate is making the country worse on all economic indices in the world. Because it's from the same tribe. Anyway, not to make it about that, but God help Nigeria. Michelle said, Olu leave Chelsea. Yeah, we cannot leave Chelsea. Michelle, we're just getting started. Especially now, I've seen your league position. And the way your team just lost 3-0. People are opening their mouths. No. It's a very, very, very disgraceful behavior from you guys. Very, very disgraceful behavior. IoT, shout out IoT, my bro. You can afford to be. You will say this nonsense again. Club World Cup is not a trophy. I keep telling you this thing. It's okay. And like I said, he will still do as if football started in 2001 when I think IoT is 1998. IoT worked as if football started when he was born. In Chelsea history, I always remind them 6 titles. Please. I love that the Abramovich era is gone because now Chelsea remember that this is what used to be like under Ken Bates. You remember what Chelsea, those of us that started watching football during Autoglass, we know what Chelsea was. So I'm loving as you guys are preparing your mind. Because of internet, you think Blue Co will save you from your uselessness. Don't worry. It's just getting started. Don't worry. This financial bomb that's coming, just wait. Just wait to cool down. I love these comments. I can't remember what I'm saying. If your backup goalkeeper for Brazil is Ederson, oh, I don't like it. What's wrong with Ederson? That's a good backup now. David said Olu looks like Ghana appointed Carlos Queiroz. Yes, I said that already. Don't mind them, man. Like I said, Carlos Queiroz is not like nothing's gonna happen well for Ghana in the World Cup. I think they'll beat Panama. I'm rooting for them in that game. I have my Black Stars kid there, but the rest, honestly, it's not gonna happen. Oh my God, Leeds expected goals was a whole one more than Man United. Manchester. That's all tell me I look like Patrick Severa. No, don't bring United negative energy around my way. Let me run through this. How I wish NFF play those players well before the PO and there was no fight between the players. A lot was actually going on behind the scenes. That's why I never blame Shaw. Of course, we all know about this, bro. And if Eric Shaw pursued those first qualifiers, we probably will not be here, you know. So it is what it is. Brian says, Olu, I don't think we understand what Simeone won't do and wait till we go see for that Barcelona match. Lookman now winger, but it go come be like left back for there. I know even man, my brother, as far as say Lookman and Let's Go Madrid progress, make we at least get one super good player. We go enter semi-final for Champions League, please. It's important for our rep. So I like what you go do. Unless you be Barcelona fan, where they do you somehow. You want to see your team play against Arsenal Sporting again, then I understand. But by God's grace, if Simeone like make it play Lookman as ball boy, in fact, sweeper, center back, anyone, as long as they win the match, I'm okay. So let's see how that game goes. Taiwo, I think you already got my message. Akomolade Babatunde left back. He's throwing his dead head at Michael Kayode. Taiwo, you always getting me excited. Andel HB. Let me go and write his name down. So look at him. Akomolade Babatunde. Akomolade Babatunde. Babatunde. I just love that name, Babatunde. Okay, thanks for that update. Nelzy, no Okafor Brace, salute. Enough to beat United, honestly. I want to hear this Calvert-Lewin interview. I'm about to bring it to my team for the double game week. Now that they won the match, even if they didn't score today, or did he score? Oh, even made a defensive clearance. Wow, DCL 2. Oh wow, go you. Salute enough to be. Now, honestly, what performance from him. Adeola said, I'm here for Arsenal tears. Like I said, Adeola, delay is not denial. Arsenal are still 6 points ahead. There's no tears to come and be here for. We're literally about to enter Champions League semi-final on Wednesday. Wait for us to dabarrow the whole thing, then talk. Then unload the clip, as I said. So let's see. The game is the game. That's why, Charles, we must face this as a man. Useless buffoons. So it is what it is. Any more comments? Brian Tawia says, I calculate see a gas block Mandani for Twitter. Lord, I see politicians when they care for people. My belly just they spoil. Well, it's just so sad because if every Nigerian in Nigeria could really like taste what normal governance looks like in certain countries, like honestly, like I think there would have been anarchy in Nigeria by now. But I don't know if it's religion or tribalism they used to pacify the country, but let's see. Anyway, like I said, I carry football on my head and music. Everything else, good luck to everybody, and we'll see how it goes. So wish you all well. Thanks for all the comments. All right, Sean is here. After whining a little bit like a little grumpy little child, but we'll get him on. How are you? What's up?
Thank you.
How are you now?
First of all, first of all, what did I say last week?
Wait, Shell, I want to be very clear about something before you start talking. There's nothing you can say that will make me feel bad when your team just lost 3-0 and you're closer to relegation zone than the top. So say your points, let's hear it and let's go.
Wait.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead now.
I'm falling. I'm done already. I don't care to fall anymore. So it doesn't bother me.
What? You know what Champions League
When these
is?
people have done their best, I don't care.
You don't care about Champions League.
This man, this Jemusinoi. You know nothing about football. You know nothing about football. So I don't care. Secondly, let me tell you. As Mata lose this title, Sonateta. That's the
I agree. Well, the same
two
page.
defensive like my life.
It's on Ateta 100.
But let's forget about Manta. This you won't have this guy for yourself, but because of your that match was so that match was Saudi. Why do you play that way? The first time.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What happened to the guys? That last one, that match against Momon. What happened to the guys?
My brother, I was in the stadium and I saw from beginning to the end.
So that's about that. Let's talk about the NFP issue. I think Patrick Musepe is a joke.
Bro, I agree. It's
big
crazy.
Joke.
All this regional nonsense.
I don't understand why you put Nigeria, Ghana, and it's not gonna. It's not. It's like putting Brazil and not gonna. It's not working. It's not working at all.
Exactly.
Secondly, the FIFA thing for women, what happened to apartment? They're not okay. I
Bro,
work with him, I play FIFA things that
just to help him with, I know it froze, but I know what he's talking about. A lot of African countries have been playing FIFA series games while the Super
yes,
Falcons
FIFA
are not
things.
playing games.
I
Continue, don't
don't
worry, you finish,
understand.
but I was just saying you said FIFA series.
They are very funny. Look at the good Zambia playing against Canada last Saturday.
Honestly.
Malawi play against Australia last Saturday. I
Yes,
watched the
now.
match.
FIFA series now.
They are playing. That's the money. Just go, and what happened to Buso? No, it's not even that anymore. It's not even fair anymore.
I'm telling
What
you.
about Phoenix?
It's so bad.
Just play differently. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is, I wanted to go to and it's up on the corner for the ladies.
It's so
Wanted to
bad.
win the game.
They don't treat them
It's
well
very
at
funny.
all.
So it's terrible. It's very funny. I don't believe
I'm
it.
telling you, man.
Before I
It's so
go,
sad.
anyway, before I go, on EPL 5 week, I think I don't think we tie two.
You think so?
I'm very sure.
I won't lie, I'm not convinced
I
though.
think so, yes.
You think so?
You know what? This Sunday, after they're not lose for City. They're not lose.
Ah, wow. I'm
Yesterday,
so
this
glad
was
I'm so glad Sheo came on.
yesterday
I'm surprised to hear that. I tap into that anointing. I agree with you. As
because
long as we do not lose, I think we win the league. But if we lose, it's done.
just apart is over.
You think
Just
so?
apart. Arsenal are the side are better than are playing better football than Indonesia. Yes. Again, yesterday, yes, they just said allow football win the game. Please don't blame me that first half
I'm
at
so
all. What's
glad.
better against them? The first half was equal Chelsea and Man City. The second
But you
half,
played well in the first half now. You did well in the first half.
I don't know. Second half was just
It was interesting to
alarming.
watch,
I don't
bro.
know. I mean, one thing that the boys is they're not playing for this man. I'm very sure they want good work up. That's the part.
True, true, true,
That's the part. So
true. Did you see Romero crying? See Romero crying that day. See Romero crying
actually,
yesterday. All the British
was
press, they were saying,
what
"Oh,
about
Romero cares more about he cares about Tottenham." In my mind, I was
the
thinking
play?
the man is thinking about the World Cup. He's like, "Oh my god."
That's World Cup.
I agree. I agree.
Look at
I
look
agree,
at
bro.
Kudus too.
Kudus
I bet World
Abi
Cup.
is
Muda bet
well.
World Cup. So all this, yeah, but they're playing careful now. That's why. But not the finally very good. I think after winning the league, I'm much as an fan. They played their music today. I love what happened to them
Ah.
today. I love what
So
happened to
before
Manchester
you
United.
leave, my last question, Sheo.
They're too mounty.
So before you leave, Sheo,
Okay,
just
okay.
give me your prediction for your Chelsea Man United game next week, and where you think Chelsea will end up in the league table.
Yeah, we
You win?
that man game. Yeah, win that game. I win it. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, win
I
it.
like the confidence.
You know what? Yeah, win it. You know why? Because Enzo is back.
True, true,
I win
true,
that game.
true.
I win that game. I win that game. And where if you know the table, I think we win on some we win against Manchester United on Saturday evening. I think I finished maybe fifth because Aston Villa will drop. I'm very sure about that.
Let's see. Let's
I'm very
see.
sure.
I
Even
think
if
you
I
have
know
it.
that swimmer, they know that swimmer. No, that's fine.
I think you
I
have a
mean,
big ball
it's
for
not
your
know
hands,
by
but
no by
let's see
it.
how it goes.
Yes. Yeah, brother. What about
All right.
brother? What about
Thank you so
Jackson?
much, Sheo. I appreciate you always. Oh. Sorry, what did he say?
What about Jackson? Jackson.
Jackson's
It's
not
not
here
available
today.
yet. Jackson.
Jackson's not here today. I think he said he was traveling or
Yeah.
something. So we'll see him again. But I appreciate you always, Sheo.
My,
And
my
have
guy
a
to
great
him.
week
One
ahead.
love.
Appreciate you, man. Always. Thank you so much. All right, people. Just round up the podcast. Thanks again for all the love. Thank you for for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you're new on here, please feel free to subscribe. If you feel like joining as a member, that'll be amazing. Housekeeping, you can see all our social media profiles on here. We're on the road to 20k subs. God bless you all for the support. And we're available on all the audio platforms if that's what you prefer, including Audio Mac and Amazon Music, which are not shown on the overlay you can see. Much love for the love always. I just want to say a big thank to everybody. And I will, at least for now, I'm definitely doing a live stream on Thursday again, and we'll figure things out. So looking forward to the preview episode. By God's grace, when we're doing the show in 3 days' time, Arsenal will be in the Champions League semi-final. By God's grace, Lukman will also be in the Champions League semi-final. Much love to everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And let's feast on these United tears. Oh, I just saw Roy Keane is in the Monday Night Football studio. Ooh, exciting. So much love as always, guys. Thank you, guys. And have a wonderful rest of the week. And I'll see you on Thursday's episode. Peace out. Take care. Much love. Thank you to everybody.